Yeah, so I wake up this morning and I see a message, and it's Access Rattblood. Are you here, Rattblood?
And then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access.
I'm Access fucking Rattblood.
Access Rattblood, I see. All these Access people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now. I don't know what to do about
it. And then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access.
Are you here, Rattblood?
I'm Access fucking Rattblood.
Access Rattblood. Most abundant and successful king hero that we are all sitting with at this very moment. Are you willing to accept that as a truth? That you are a worthy man and that your penis is okay?
all these Access people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now. All these Access people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now.
Are you here, Rattblood? I'll just start throwing spells at you, conjuring demons and otherwise. Are you here, Rattblood? I'll just start throwing spells at you, conjuring demons and otherwise. Are you here, Rattblood? I'll just start throwing spells at you, conjuring demons and otherwise. Are you here, Rattblood?
Who the fuck is Access Rattblood?
I'm Access fucking Rattblood, bitch.
All these Access people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now. I don't know what to do about it.
I'm Access fucking Rattblood.
Hey, hey. How you doing, Axis?
I'm hanging in there. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Keeping up with the chores. That's it.
Well, so the never-ending battle is trying to maintain a clean and wholesome environment.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's been up with you?
I don't know, man. You know, people are clicky, cattle,
Uh-huh.
sheep, and Cage. I don't know if you know Cage Reality, but he got a little.
Go ahead.
He got a little upset because I did some ceremonial ritual magic.
Oh.
To help a friend of his and another associate, and they knew what I was doing. And they had every opportunity to say they didn't want to be represented. And Cage got the complaints at his channel, and he waged war on mine. And I don't tolerate such shit.
No
And if
kidding.
that's the herd-mindedness that is coming with this channel, I'm just not fucking interested in it. Not interested in this fucking channel. You know, he built me an AI model, and then he fucked around with it. Changed the voice on it, thought that was real funny, but the image and the personality is someone that I have been dedicated to for 5 years. So,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah, I understand. I haven't had very good dealings with Cage. That's just
Fuck
my
him. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Pam
he's-
sends me a Pam's Mystical Musings.
Mhm.
Obviously doesn't understand the significance of how this affected me and the viperous nature of what he'd done, including his two little cohorts. With a comment, she's not going to be involved with a channel that has foul language and but I stood my ground, and I still stand my ground. Fuck Cage.
Yeah, he's flippant is a good word. You don't know which Cage you're going to get that day. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well,
So I haven't had him up I blocked him, to be honest with you. I got tired of it. So, yep, they're out there, Axis. It's a really, we know there's a lot of really crazy people in the world, and they all seem to find YouTube. Good grief.
right? This is a rest home for the mentally fucked.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
So, and I'm an entertainer, man. You know, I have been. I retired from the entertainment industry, and my channel is a platform for open expression, conversation. You know, but don't don't antagonize me. Really, it's not going to be worth your endeavor because I don't work for YouTube to fuck with you. I have other means.
Yeah. Yeah, I just look at it this way. You have to kind of go through the box of chocolates, take a bite and see what's going on with people. But there's a lot of people out there I don't want to associate with, don't want them on my panels. They're just shit stirs. That's all.
Yeah. And temporary allies until they
Yes.
find a reason to be offended.
Or something. And yes. Yep, flippant. Just you
Yeah.
never know what you're gonna get, with them. And that's short-lived with me. I think like yourself, I've gotten older and I'm just not in the mood. I don't have the patience for that anymore.
No,
So,
no, I don't either, and I appreciate that perspective. So before I shut this channel down completely, I figured I'll let this sumbitch run dead silent. I'll let it run dead silent for 12 hours, and then I'll shut it down completely.
oh, don't do that. Please don't shut yourself out. Like myself, when I just get full of bad energies, I just take a break. I just and sometimes I'll come back and a whole new slew of people are around. Yeah, I would just take a break, and like you do your magic, just bring forth those types of energies to you when you come back. Good energies back. Yeah, but I don't want to see you go.
I've been putting my energy into my artwork, my music, even my environment, my associations, getting myself ready to get back on the road and do a couple more years of nomad traveling across the country. And I'm not going to waste my energy. I'm not going to waste any of my knowledge, base, or esoterics any further with these people. They are non-compliant, non-cooperative, non-interactive, but boy, quick to fucking judge and point you out. And I just don't want to deal with them. I'm sick of them. I'm sick of all of them.
I get it. Oh boy, I get it. Yeah, I too. I'll just take breaks, man, and just go. Sorry, I don't have a reason to absorb all your bad jujus, to these people. I just don't, I haven't, and so I just take a break. I just send out, different vibes into my reality that when I come back, they'll be gone and maybe somebody new. But yeah, the whole slew of them, that's why I haven't been around your show, to be honest. I don't do Cage. I don't do, what is that guy? Stephen King. Stephen King. That's been.
Yeah, right.
Same thing, kind of. Yeah, I don't do those people. So I just politely back out and wait, because like people like you go, hey, these guys are just total fill in the blanks. And I'm not having them on my show anymore. And then once they're gone, good people will come back. They will. So are you? Let me ask you. This is off topic. Now, are you a guitar player? Is that right? Or a drummer?
Multi-talented. I graduated Ferguson's Academy of Music. I play lead guitar, lead vocals as primary, bass, keyboard, and drums.
Right on.
And I do studio engineering.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I used to be what, you're familiar with. I was a weekend warrior. I'd play 2 or 3 nights out of the week as mostly a bass player. I do guitar, but I'm just a really darn good bass player. Darn it.
Right.
So I end up in that position because, one way or another. So I've just been a bass player in bands, and I totally get it. It's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of work. People don't realize how much physical energy musicians put in to find the gigs, set up the gigs, play the gigs, tear down the gigs. There's a lot. So.
Oh yeah, considerable amount to it, more than what they'll ever know.
Mm-hmm.
There's one of the complainers right here.
Hello. How you doing, Axis? And you're
not too happy with you.
Why?
Cage said you went to his fucking channel and was voicing your discontent with my ceremonial ritual.
No,
is that true? Or is he a fucking liar?
That's a lie. I never said anything like that.
Well, I've got it recorded on the live stream.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude. What did I say?
I have no idea what your exact words were, but I've got Cage saying your name exactly as going to his channel, voicing your concern about my ritualistic magic. And he came to defend you and KC. So there you go, man. Take it up with Cage.
I've never been to his channel. I've only been here, and I've only seen him here, and I don't like him at all.
Well, then he's a fucking liar again.
He is a liar. I did not say that. He is a liar. And so is King Stephen, or whatever the fuck he wants to call himself. They're both a bunch of scumbags.
Trolls.
I'm on your guys' side here. I don't like Cage at all. He tells me I can get a MS by going to some fucking guru. No, it doesn't work like that. You know,
that's a sad situation when he's dropping names and bringing on heat to me about my personal endeavors in the name of other people. And especially if you aren't lying, then he's going to be punished even more than my removal of KC from his reality.
I don't want any kind of weird, I don't need that. I don't need any kind of weird spiritual shit over top of my head, right? So I would not talk shit about you. And I'm done with Steven. I don't want to see him ever again. So he's another fucking... Yeah. I heard you talking about Steven G Sharp. Yeah, I agree with you. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
so
they're trolls.
Cage is a piece of shit.
Yeah,
oh, you got to see all the women that are all around this guy who cured himself of MS. The motherfucker. I hate the motherfucker. In fact, there's times I wanted to get up on your thing. I saw him up here, and I didn't want to get up because I don't want to talk to that fuck.
Me too. That's where I've been.
I'm not a liar.
Well, you can go back, and I will cut the clip itself if I have to. If you can't find it, it was whenever Cage was attacking me about doing blood ritual magic, and KC and you, and I told KC exactly what she apologized for voicing her opinion to Cage about what I was doing when she had all the opportunity in the world to say, I don't want to be involved. And then he threw your name into it. And I was like, okay.
Well,
all right.
If there's any proof, and if there is proof, it's fake.
Yes. Well, just goes to prove that he's even more of a liar and a confirmed liar. Many times over.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, no, he's only come on my show and tried to take it over with his videos. And yeah, no, I really did not do him or any of those guys, you know, and the other guys that come from Paul Enslaved. Do you know him?
Oh, I've heard, yeah.
Yeah, they're bad news. They're just here to suck your energy and, you know, bolsters them up or something. I'm almost convinced some of these guys are like paid agents to take down good channels. I don't know.
Sometimes I wonder myself.
Well, you know, there's going to be repercussions much more extensive than just what I generalized with my stream last night. You know,
look, Axis, man, I consider you a friend, so I would not say anything against you at all, ever.
Well, I appreciate that.
You're kind. You're the only one of the people that's treated me kind on here, so I don't want to throw that out.
I it just confounds me why he would use your name. That just totally blows my fucking mind.
He doesn't like me because I don't want to buy his bullshit. That's what it is.
He's placing two people against each other, stirring the shit pot. Sorry, I'm cussing.
No, that's all right. You can cuss on his channel. I don't mind. I do it.
Yeah, placing people against each other. Yeah, bad news for years and the rest of them. But so I'm going to say this, you know, if like Axis, you're running a show and all of a sudden people aren't showing up like they used to, there's a reason, because there's somebody in chat or on panel that they've experienced, and they don't want to be around that vibe, you know.
Well, I can understand not wanting to be around that vibe, and I try and get rid of it as quickly as possible. And then my streams are very peaceful,
Yeah.
interactive, progressive, forward thinking. Dean Moore can tell you that. He's been there through some of my better streams.
I love
But
being on your streams, man. It's nothing, no joke. I don't want to fuck with anybody on here anymore. I don't want to fuck with anyone. Apparently, I fucked up. I fucked up King Stephen's brains. So he totally fucking he made me think different about this whole panel shit. And then like there are certain people like you and G Sharp and people who can actually talk and understand what the hell I'm talking about.
I tried to, man, and I let it go for 2 days of him rattling his trap. And because me and Cage have a very long history, 5 years, I know where he come from. I know exactly his position on YouTube, how it began, how he got his base, the whole 9 yards. And nah, man, he's done.
Totally.
Like to be able to get back to my regular hours, you know, at least have decent people that are interactive. You know, everybody sits around and booms like lurkers, waiting for some type of a endorphin rush or some spectacle to go talk about. You know, and I'm not about that.
Oh, Zephyr, that is hilarious. Princess Stephanie.
Right?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Narcissism, at least. You know, they suck. They have no life, and they see you've got something going. They want to suck it from you and make you feel badly so they feel better. And it's just a crazy world we're in, kind of. But yeah, Princess Stephanie.
Gaslighting pieces of shit is what they are. Gaslighters.
That's it. Yep.
Fucking shits.
Well, it's just really disheartening to see that people that I considered to be pretty close to me on my channel and were supportive just fade into oblivion, you know. And then I was left some comments in my IM, and then they were deleted right after they posted them, made sure I read them, and then deleted them. You know, I don't need that kind of behavior. You know, and if you can't tolerate my channel through the bad times, then don't fucking be here for the good times, because you're not welcome.
Yeah, just use that blocking mechanism, you know, in your setups. And I do. I block them. They can't come into your chats or, you know, yeah. And even if they have like a main channel and then they got a couple of other channels, you know, that they've made, it will recognize the email address that we're all based off of. And it won't let those channels come in either, by the way.
Very good. Thanks for that information.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's what I do. I block them, and soon, you know, give me, depends on how angry I am. A couple days, couple weeks, they're gone. We feel good. I'm back to normal. You know.
Now, G Sharp, just not to change the subject.
No. Okay.
Where did you get your name, Smoking in G Sharp?
Oh, you're gonna like this, especially Axis. He's a musician. I am
too. That's why.
Cool.
That's why.
Oh, great. So you'll understand this. So I was in a band, and we're in the rehearsal room, and we're taking a break. So I'm in this rehearsal room with the keyboard player, and just as he was going to ask me something. The guitar player came in, and they both asked me these questions at the same time. One says, "What is the next song's key in?" And the guitar player says, "Where's the drummer?" So I said, "Smoking in G sharp."
There you go.
Yeah. So I said, "I'm going to use that."
Yeah, dude, I like that.
Yeah, it's funny, huh? True.
And so like, as far as notes go, what are your favorite? What's your favorite frequency? Do you like? Well, there's flat sharps and yada yada, but like, do you try any of that 432 shit tuning?
I played around with it on my acoustic. The only problem with that is getting others on the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keyboards are I don't know too much about keyboards, but I think they have like a standard 440 setting.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably change it, bend it, I'm sure, but yeah, it makes everybody go, "What? For what?" Yeah.
Like
So
the thing I found was, like the 2-string chord, like a E and an A.
ooh,
You
nice to know.
make a major, like just a simple major chord out of those two notes. It sounds off when you turn it to 432, and I think the reason that is that if you want real good results with the guitar, you probably need to have the guitar made for 432. I think that's what it is.
That's very possible, yes, because I know there's a lot of math involved with, the neck length and the whole, from bridge to bridge length. There's all this stuff, I totally get that. My favorite guitar that I kept, because I burned through a few of them, is interestingly, I have a Fender Tornado.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, it's a Mexico Fender guitar that came out in like the 90s, early aughts. What's interesting about this guitar, though, is it doesn't have the Fender length on the neck. It has a Gibson length. And, okay, that's all I can tell you because I'm not a mathy. Yeah, fret differences. Okay, and I'm not mathy, by the way. What I've noticed, though, is it's got that Fender edge, tang-wang or whatever, but it's deeper. It's like it's got that throaty Les Paul deepness to it. Trippy. Anyway, that's just my thing.
Yeah, man. I always liked that. Like I went through phases. Like I had a Fender Strat that I amped up like for like real distortion, like punk rock distortion, not like metal. But then also Les Paul, I like that for other reasons, but I don't really play them anymore because my amp is fucked.
Oh yeah, I get that. Yeah,
that kind of sucks, but is what it is. But I play Cajun accordion, and that's good. Yeah,
right on.
That's that style and that sound.
Zydeco.
Yeah. You're absolutely on the page, because
I love it.
Zydeco is the black version of Cajun music, basically, and Cajun music is the white version of black music. And Creole, I think, in fact, the Amédée Arjoin, he's I don't know if you know about him. He, in the early 1900s, he was playing one of those one-row hardcore.
I'm going to mute up for a second because I think I found the area where he calls you out.
Okay.
Anyway, so Amédée Arjoin, he inspired a lot of white Cajuns, and that's pretty awesome, man, because you see in Louisiana it's like a melting pot. You got like Creole, you got Zydeco, you got Cajun, and it all overlaps, it's
absolutely. Yeah
we
all imitate each other.
That's right.
That's right. How music's evolved in our generation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It is so true.
Yeah, I went from playing punk rock when I was a teenager up until I was about 19, and then I started playing Irish style music, not like Kaylee. It was more like kind of pogues
Oh
and
yeah.
pub music too, Irish pub music. And I was in a band called Rossnarine, and we played Irish pub music. And man, I gotta tell you, St. Patty's week, oh my God, that was a bitch. And of course, back then I was getting drunk all the fucking time, and that didn't help. I was in an Irish band. Shit. Oh crap. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Sure, no problem. Yeah. I've mostly been in. I'll pick up the carpet here for a minute. I've mostly been, your standard rock bands when it comes to cover rock bands, weekend warriors playing out at bars. And then in Portland, I got the opportunity to play in a couple of pretty darn good original bands. My favorite we were just like pop rock, funk, has a little funky pop rock thing going, female singer. And I got to write, have the ability to be creative instead of having to figure out what that bass player is doing in that Eagles song or Tom Petty song. I have to sit there and break it down. I did not get the sheet music back then because we didn't have the internet when I first started playing. So I'd have to sit in front of my stereo and listen to the song over and over and go, oh, that's the note he's hitting, Yeah. So, but now it's so easy. You get on the internet. Oh, okay. There's the chord changes. And usually they'll have if it's intricate, they'll have a bass tab. I go, oh, okay. It's a lot easier now to figure out what they've been doing. And I'm here on the Axis Rattblood show. Just had to break it up for a minute. Forgive me, everyone. Hi, Mike. I'm up here talking to myself and smoking. And what I'm smoking is, what am I smoking? Oh, yeah. This is called Prickly Pear by Gross Science. And it's delightful. It's a really, really, really good bud. So if I seem off, you now know why. Hey, I know what I can do. Before everybody comes back, I can show you something. Let me get ready. Let's see here. Okay, check this out. That's my 2 canna plants. Oh wait, going the wrong way. I'll be over there in a second. It's hard to talk in the mic and do this. And my chives. I'll show
Sorry
you.
about that.
Oh, that's
That was
okay.
a friend from Irvine.
Oh, no problem. I'm just showing off my grow.
Oh, are you growing weed?
Yeah.
Ah, what strain?
This is Strawberry Kush.
Ah, yeah, a strawberry and a kush together.
Yeah, strawberry
There's so many
coffee.
varieties now. Like there's too many. It's like infinite.
I know. And my chives. Let's get them in there. That's what I'm growing right now. Yeah, I just every year I'll grow a couple of plants. It's a hobby. I'm not a professional grower. So
Now, when it buds, like, is there certain things you have to do once it's budding? Like,
oh yeah.
shut the light off or something like, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of another plant.
No, you're on track. Yes, there's a series of things you have to do. Like right now, these are let's see, 7 going on 8 weeks. So it's about just under 2 months. So I have intense blue lights and they're running 15. I do a 15-hour day on them. This is to get them to grow and get the flower, the leaves and everything and the stems. Yeah. And then when I'm ready to switch to get it to start budding, I will hit an intense red lights on them for us. I start at 12 hours to bring it down, and then I'll bring slowly down to 10 hours for the remainder of the 2.5 months I'm going to grow it.
Wow, you know the science there.
Yeah, I learned it from the guy dudes, man. I watch the grow shows. Busker, that's what I do. I'm not
Uh,
s- I'm
on
smart enough to do that. Yeah.
are there some on YouTube?
Oh, tons of them. And these guys are so cool. I'll either in chat or I'll pop up on their panel and say, "Hey, I'm having a problem. Why is this doing that?" And they'll tell me, and it totally solves the problem.
Oh, dude, see, that's the unity amongst pot smokers and
Yeah,
growers.
yeah. Yeah, no, very, very cool guys. If anyone ever wants to, let me, look at this. One of the best channels right now going is called Levels Grow Room, and he spells levels weird.
Do you have the? Well, I don't. You don't have to look for the link if you don't want. But if you
Yeah,
can
hold on.
put it in
Let me
the
see.
private chat, I'll go there.
Yeah, let me find. I'll put it out in front so anybody who may
Definitely look. I never know what to look for when looking for pot channels. It's just
Yeah.
like hit or miss.
Yeah,
But
these guys are great. I'll find him in a
I'm
second
thinking
here.
about growing one day too. But thing is the pests, and I've heard marigolds. If you put marigolds around your plant, that gets rid of some pests, I believe.
That's true. Even gardens too. Yes. Certain
Yeah.
plants, natural pesticides. Yeah, I don't put anything on these.
Mhm.
There's the link in chat.
Oh, in the comments area.
Yeah, here, I'm putting it in the back too for
Well,
you.
that's okay. I'll just copy and paste this.
Okay. Yeah, really great show. I think he comes on most Saturday or Sundays or something. A lot of people up there. I mean, these guys are big growers,
Hell yeah.
Me, I just do my little one or two plants, my little hobby grow here, and
Man, I would be jazzed if I just had one plant, but with my disease, it's just like it's kind of hard to do anything anymore. I have MS, so it's hard to do anything but like I wanted to get a pet. I can't take care of them anymore. I used to love all kinds of cats. I know Axel doesn't like cats, but I love cats. I had
I do too.
I had a half serval a long time ago. It lived for 22 years. I don't know if you know what a serval is. It's a African wildcat with big ears and
Dang.
and yeah, like in like it's well, that one, it's actually 3 cats in one. Its mother was an F1 Bengal, which means it was a Asian leopard cat, which is a tiny tree-dwelling cat with spots, and it's bred with a domestic cat.
Nice.
So and then that mother, that the offspring of that, breeds with a full-blooded all full-blooded male serval. Now imagine that, dude, a little tiny cat and a big fucking serval. That's kind of like, just picturing that just doesn't work in my brain. I can't see how that would work, because they're so, they're small cats, like tabby cats, like by the time they're Bengals, they're real tiny. Like, see, Bengal cats, they're tiny cats unless they have more domesticated cat in them, then they're larger.
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah, but like I think that they don't let these people who regulate the hybridization of cats or animals don't allow Bengal F1s bred with the serval. You have to only do a domestic and a serval.
I see.
Can't have any other kind of wild blood, and I can understand why. I've seen servals on videos that are just much kinder and gentler than the thing I had, but I got him secondhand. He was like 7 months old, and he came from New York, and he was pretty traumatized when I got him. And I was about to give him up. I was like, "Look, Brian, I can't deal with this thing. I'm gonna have to send it back," because it was really vicious to begin with.
Right. I get that. Mhm.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I've known, owning dogs. Especially when you're readopting,
Oh
basically.
yeah, yeah.
You don't know what you're going to get. And some people, they just did. They got dogs or horses. I have a friend who rescues wild burros and horses up in Nevada. And, even just taking care of this one burro, she could not it was just mean, biting her, kicking her. She had to find somebody that was a little more whatever to take care of that burro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, what was I gonna say earlier? I can't. Man, I'm a little burnt.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Burnt.
didn't mean to. Yeah.
No.
I'm high. I will sidetrack this unintentionally.
Yeah, I'm smoking this Sherb something or rather. It's decent.
So generally, where are you at?
I'm in Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, nice.
Thus, be more busker. And you know what a busker? You know what a busker is, right?
Yeah. Street musician.
Yeah. I used to play Cajun music. I'd play Cajun accordion. My dad would play the guitar. And sometimes we get, hold on, I'll get a picture. My friend fiddle player, Charlie, he doesn't come around anymore because his wife is too left wing. So she doesn't want him around me.
Oh, that's sad.
And,
the world's getting so weird.
I don't claim any party at all. I don't.
No, me either.
But yeah, the fact that I just don't like certain things.
Oh, being ripped off billions of dollars.
Right.
Those kinds of things.
Yeah, and that was a long time ago. I lost touch with him, but at the time, I just was on Facebook talking shit about what some of these left-wing fuckers were doing. This is before COVID and all the BLM and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like years before that. And then all of a sudden, he just wasn't talking to me anymore. I'm just thinking, well,
people do. They divide. They divide on the weirdest things.
The divide and conquer, especially when
your
spouse has a friend who doesn't believe what this brainwash, like that's the whole thing. I don't believe that all the brainwash in the past 5 years have been proof that everybody got brainwashed so fucking easily.
Yeah, more than you'd think, And I think we're going through a new round currently with destroying property.
And taking away farmers. They're doing everything they can. These fucking people in power. Sorry, I
got high. Yeah, a coffer's smoke.
You know what's great about that is the terpenes. When I have a can of coffee, that's just me in general. It clears my lungs out so good. I mean, I think it's the terpenes. If you got enough terpenes going, if you got way too much, then it might actually not be too good for your lungs. But a good amount of terpenes, and yeah, obviously you gotta have some THC in there, no matter. That's for sure. Like, man, here's sorry, I'm just rambling, but there's this I got this strain called garlic cookies. I don't know if you heard of that.
Sounds familiar. Garlic cookies, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a bread with Girl Scout cookies and Garlissimo or something.
Yeah, I've never had it, but I've heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, or it's called GMO cookies of all things. Oh. Because it literally, like the first time I had it, it smelled just like garlic. I swear. I was like, what the hell? And ever since, the phenotypes haven't been the same like I had it the first time. But like dude, I have this jar of 37 point something THC, but the terps are down in like 2.5 something, which is kind of okay. Yeah, I mean, like it if you're, you know how it is when you don't have a tolerance, weed is weed, right? And it's good, and especially if it has that much THC. But I gotta say, I don't feel as the entourage effect from this 37 point something garlic cookies, because
Mhm.
the terps are pretty low considering. I've become a terp junkie, but I
Oh,
don't.
I get it. Yeah, because I dab occasionally too here, and the dabs are all about terps.
Oh yeah, so you get the terps in there. Oh, have you ever made dabs or you just
No,
get?
no, no. Just purchased.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I don't have a press or any. I no.
yeah.
Um,
My one friend has that. It looks so weird. It looks like if that's the thing I'm thinking when it comes out, it rolls out and it looks like this weird taffy kind of,
sometimes, yeah,
or
yeah.
like
No, it's all different consistencies. It could,
amber colored.
yeah,
Kind of.
all different colors. Some of it's like maple syrup, and then others are like
Yeah,
crumbly, almost hashy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
All different kinds. Yeah, I've tried it. I just do it occasionally now because it really hits my lungs. It's
yeah, yeah.
concentrate. I
Oh,
mean, it's
yeah.
like taking a lemon and imagine taking lemons and
And inhaling it,
concentrating that down to a lemon syrup and then eat it.
and then inhale it too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like I can't stand I like it, but and it activates my bladder is I have neurogenic bladder where it's retention with the MS, and what the when I have a good blast and I'm coughing, I was like activated, and then I'm like, wow, okay, that's good. That's one thing out of the way. I base my life around. This sounds fucking stupid, but it's my life, right? So I spend most of the time trying to go pee. And the other end, I don't want to get into that. That's not diarrhea. That's just real dry, right?
Mhm.
I know. I'm sorry. This is TMI. I'm like an open book, no doubt.
Yeah. Well, I understand. Of course, at my age, I've got, a thyroid problem and it wreaks havoc on all kinds of things. And I
Yeah,
have to
my,
I have to
my
watch
mother.
my diet. Yeah, I can't do the gluten. No gluten, no oats and things like that
And
now.
you can't have licorice either, I think.
I don't know. I haven't seen what's in licorice, but I mean, wheat, salt, and sugar are the staples of an American diet right
Yeah,
there.
right.
And you're going to get
Everything.
you're going to get your body's going to throw a fit at least on one of them. And
Yeah,
mine picked wheat. So, yeah, I don't do gluten or any of that and that kind of stuff. It's just a load of fun.
I know, right? Anything that's kind of nice is like bad for you, right?
I know, like a cinnamon roll. Who'd have thunk? But no, I can't.
Right? Shit.
I know,
Too much
man.
gluten. Oh no. Yeah, there's do you have celiac or
Not celiac. That is a severe allergy. Just intolerance. I have gluten intolerance,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it wreaks. And the thyroid. They're finding, and gluten do a wonderful handshake with each other to mess you up.
Oh yeah,
So
dude. I know all about the handshakes. I
yeah, things you do and eat.
I had catheter trauma in 2007, and MS decided to go along with it immediately, and ever since I've been kind of messed up real bad.
Hmm.
And I didn't go after suing him because I was hoping to go back in there again. After catheter trauma, you become like, I wanted to kill him. I really did. But no, I shouldn't say it like that. I wanted him to go, to be taken out, but not to lunch, as what's his name would put it. Yeah, Monty, or yeah, Montegraph. You know who he is?
No, I don't think
Yes,
so.
he's a YouTuber, and he just basically talks to his camera, but he also is talking to the chat. And he's from Alabama, so he's got that accent. And I've been watching him for years, especially since the beginning of the Novid thing. And he called it the Wuhan Wiggle. The Wuhan Wiggle, and he had a bunch of names for this bullshit,
Yeah, it was a good grift, wasn't it?
right? Man, they really had like so many people stupefied.
Yeah.
People are so duped. I mean, like the first day, man, I knew it was bullshit.
Yeah, you could feel it. You could see it coming.
Oh, I knew it. And like once you see like this, I knew Anthony Fauci was bad to begin with, but to see him standing up there with Donald Trump every fucking day on some press thing, it's just like, I know where this is going. This is all bullshit. Nobody that I know has this. Anybody knows has this. And if they do, they're probably old, very old.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, nobody has COVID till they get the jibber jabberoo.
Yeah. No, seriously, I wish I had known previously, and I would have taken stock in sheet plastic barriers that they put up in every store, those plastic barriers. Maybe not in your state.
Whereabouts would you put that?
Oh, well, at the time I was in Portland, Oregon, and you'd walk in everywhere, and everybody now had, those plastic.
Oh yeah, the dividers.
Windows that dividers. Okay, yeah, plastic dividers that you could see through. But I wanted stock in that puppy because they made money.
I bet, man.
It was everywhere.
Like how much money was wasted on that bullshit?
I know.
They did it in every westernized country. They did it fucking everywhere, man.
Oh, they were terrible in Portland. It was the worst.
Real virus was this big lie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm just never gonna get over this. I got nothing but time to think. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, someone pointed out to me their observation. When they were doing those tests and running that big long Q-tip up people's sinuses.
Yeah,
okay.
Up that, PCR bullshit. Yeah.
Right. Okay. They felt that they were tagging people, with.
I heard that too, but
you know what I'm talking about.
Kind of scary because I knew a lot of people that got that shit up their nostrils.
Yes.
Oh man.
If you didn't get it in your arm, you got it up the nose. They're tagging people like cattle.
It makes you wonder. I mean, like that would not surprise me in the slightest.
Hey, is Access? I was going to say, did you find your clip? I want to see this. Oh, maybe not.
Hold on.
Okay. Yep. That was a good one.
Yeah,
Now
so that hybrid that you have, is it like a 50-50 kind of around that area, or is it sativa leaning, or
the strawberry kush I'm growing?
Yeah, it must be indica if it's got kush in it, right?
Correct. It leans more indica.
Yeah, and the strawberry is already a hybrid, and that has indica in it too.
Correct.
So,
yeah. This will be a little indica leaning, which is fine for me. I have both. I have sativa. I have. Depends. I do sativas in the morning if I want to really get a lot of chores done.
That's right.
Thing. And then right now, though, I'm just chilling and talking. So I'm riding the pineapple, prickly pear today.
Did you find that when you smoke, you or however you ingest, do you find that it helps with your music? Does it just kind of like
I love it.
Nowhere,
Oh, I love it when I'm playing, especially.
Yes.
And then the whole band, at least half the band, will take a puff or two, and we just find we just get into a
Chill.
zone.
Yeah, chill, yeah, like a zone. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss the days of band.
Mm-hmm.
And
Me too.
busking was so great because all back then, all it would take for me is like one puff. I'd go into the bathroom of
Oh.
this pizza shop, take a hit inside the bathroom, hold it
Oh,
in, and
I
walk
don't
out the door and then blow it out. This
I
is
don't
legalization.
mean to interrupt, Busker, but Zephyr is backstage. I just don't want someone hanging.
No, it's all good. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
totally cool.
Go ahead, sir.
I was just saying I would take a hit in the bathroom, and then I'd go out. I'd have one of those bats that was like made out of aluminum or some dog shit, and I'd take a hit of it, walk out the door, blow it out, sit down, start playing mute. Oh, I'll drink a little bit too, and then start playing music with my dad. It was like gold, dude. I'll never forget that. And then of course, BLM and George Floyd happened, and of course, Fells Point went to shit. So, all right, Zephyr, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you guys doing?
Pretty
Glad
good.
I saw that the show was on.
Was there a fifth person in here?
It was the other the other axis,
Oh, okay, yeah.
double axis.
Double axis. So, how you doing, Zephyr? I believe we've talked before in the past.
Yeah, over on Jeff's, we've talked quite a bit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
not that long ago.
Yeah, not that long ago. I'm
I can't
surprised.
remember. What were
wanna
we
come-
talking about the last time? I can't remember. It's hard to.
Because I busked too.
Yeah, okay. So now, yeah. This is gold. We got like musicians in the house, all three of us.
Well,
Or
I'm not,
four of us,
I
wherever
see-
Axis went.
but I tarot read. That's what I do.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Your busking is tarot reading. I'm sorry.
And
I
sort
think
of-
of busking, I think of music. Oh, I'm sorry. And,
well, I do music,
shit.
but I DJ sort of while I'm there. You know, I have a fancy speaker and I play music and sing along with it.
That's great. Yeah. It's gotta be some kind of good release, you know?
Fun, you know, and it's like so much easier than like trying to get people to buy readings. I just be interesting and people like ask me like, what are you doing here? You know, and that's an invitation, which makes it much easier for me to initiate, you know,
Absolutely.
because I'm not a salesperson. I always feel like I shouldn't sell. Like it's never felt right to me, especially not something that is, you know, some people would say that it's a possible grift, you know, even though I know it's not a grift. I'm not grifting anybody. I mean,
man, I
can't,
got
like-
lots of shit for busking, playing downtown. Like there was a number of people who would say, like online, and just say, yeah, why don't you go begging? Oh, what? This is not begging. I'm providing a service. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah,
although I think what I do is more than just entertainment. I can't legally say that it's more than that.
that's right.
Not I have to like add it as a disclaimer that it is for entertainment purposes only because I'm not grifting.
Yeah. I mean, like you have to. I mean, because otherwise the law will come down on you.
I think that churches should have to do that too then.
Right? Ah! Oh, man. They should, yeah. On big scale. I mean, like the millions.
And yeah, it's like we have a Skip Heitzig here, and there's like those guys like I forget. It was like Jimmy Swaggart back in the day, all the televangelists and stuff like that, and that's perfectly okay. And they don't even have to pay taxes. I do. What the fuck is that?
Fucking sick. And then they break in all the dough.
I curse like a sailor. I apologize.
Me too. Don't worry. I do. And if I do, I'm sorry. I try not to.
Is that better?
try not to. Unless somebody said something like it bugs them, then I'll do my best to try not to. But it's hard for me sometimes.
So, Axis, what did you find on Cage's thing? Did you find it?
Yeah, it was a 7-hour stream, and he ran the entire 7 hours,
Oh,
and
that's
I managed to make it to the point where Casey come up, and she had told Cage what I was doing, and it's a lot of screaming, a lot of dissidence, but I will get to your exact name. I just got 7 hours to go through.
If it makes a transcript, did you know that you can search the transcript with the AI to find the exact moment?
No, I didn't.
Yes, there you go.
There you go.
AI is really good for is you don't have to actually search through. You can just ask it a question about like some interaction between two people in the stream, and it will tell you the timestamps. And
how do I go about that?
you go to the there's like a thing that says like summarize video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you hit summarize video, and then it'll have like a little box where you can ask questions at the bottom. It has like some preloaded ones, but if you click below those, you can actually type in specific queries.
Okay, once I get this down, my gullet, I'll go in there and do that.
Sweet. Yeah. I'm glad I could tell you about that, because I mean, I had to go in because I was basically reviewing my appearance on Flow State that I had the whole Vegas drama with Mel and everything, and
right.
I like to review myself online. Like if I made an appearance and if I just to later look at it from a objective perspective, objective and see like what the metrics are, the optics or whatever.
Can I ask what happened? Or if you don't want to bring up old drama, I understand totally. But I'm just
it had nothing to do with me really, but the only beef that I had was like with Resto, because like he like basically like ditched me. He said like come back in 3 hours, and then whenever I showed up in 3 hours, nobody was there except for Kevin, and they had already like taken off to go do the thing that we're supposed to do together. So I was a little bit like butthurt over that, which I think is perfectly reasonable.
So this was in Vegas, is that what you said? The Vegas thing?
We did a Vegas trip. A bunch of people met up. I read cards for Mel Pandora.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah. And so I basically had been trying to like, reach Resto, but he had like been avoiding me. So whenever I saw that he was actually like stepping up and answering questions and stuff, I just came up. Like I have some issue, and I told him what my issue was, and then he told the truth about like what he really thought, which he didn't say at the time. Like he was defensive and blah blah blah. It was like whatever. And there was a bunch of other people that were involved that were commenting, which was but I handled it okay and got it out. And now we're like, I just had to like have closure with that, because it was bugging me, and I am a little bit like obsessive compulsive that way.
No, it's totally understandable, like you said, to kind of air it out a little bit and have some conclusion.
Yeah, the truth doesn't mind being questioned,
I'm going to mute up here for just a minute. So I'm going to try that. And if anything, I definitely want you to hear the demeanor that I was up against. So give me a second.
Yeah, it's important to have witnesses sometimes, people that will speak up for you and give you like an objective opinion about certain things too.
Especially when somebody's lying about you.
Exactly.
Cage, he's a fuck nut.
Yeah, if somebody's lying about you and they're not willing to like friggin', if they're getting defensive in ways whenever you like call them out on what they're lying about. It's like that might be just a natural reaction, but a lot of times it's guilt.
Yeah, or projecting.
Yeah, or projecting. Well, that's kind of the same thing, really.
Kind
Because
of.
unresolved issues, whether they're aware of them or not, is a totally different thing. It might be subconscious guilt.
Yeah, you can go deep with it.
I'm a
Yeah.
projector.
No, it is. I just said, like, preemptively assume somebody was saying that you endeavored into.
Well, it seems to be the situation, doesn't
it? So what, you're gonna lie?
Oh, I dare not.
To be honest. You know what that shit comes, you know it comes with repercussions as you found out.
Well, sacrifice?
You're gonna sacrifice your own son that bad?
The first word. Now, mind you, Casey's on stage and he's talking about my ritualistic magic. Would you like to see that Sun Circle now? It is absolutely grown and intensified.
Oh yeah, let's put you in there. Yeah, let's see it.
Do you really want to see it, Case? Would you like me to light it up?
Yeah, let's nail the last nail in your coffin. Let's see it.
All right, Case.
Hurry up.
I'm going to light it up just for you. See, and since you can't even call.
You don't learn, dude. You never learn, dude. Hurry up.
And who are you, the teacher? Hurry up. Hurry up. What, to your beckoning? To your beckoning,
bullshit. To your own bullshit you can't call.
Fuck your beckoning, Cage. I'm not your bitch. Not by a hell of a sight.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I'm quite sure about that.
Oh, okay, well, time will tell.
I'm sorry, did I miss the answer to the question? What was it again?
What was what?
What did you say for me?
That your desire and your intent be fulfilled.
Well, that's pretty open-ended. What does that even fucking endeavor into? As they like to say, I'll use your words. What is an endeavor?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you wanting a name, a personality attached to that case?
What being?
Is that what you're wanting?
Somebody.
I'm sorry, dude, but I just
Is it a random
that. No, that's just the price of true endeavor.
Sure.
But anyhow, this guy goes on just for fucking 7 goddamn hours.
Yeah, that's a waste of time. Because you can't convince people that don't know what they're talking about and won't listen to alternatives. It sucks,
No.
but at some point, it's like if you're going to be moderate, you have to like walk away and don't waste your own time for your own self-respect, you know?
You're right. You are right.
I think he's just pissed at me because I jumped off the chat or the stream when he started talking about this guy who cured his own MS, has girls all around him and all this, and I'm like, do I need to hear this? No. So I
yeah,
just off.
he's like nice and all, but it's probably bullshit. Show some proof, you know? Or just say that that it's like not like it's not like proven or something. Just preface it with that.
Yeah.
That's like magical thinking is only as good as its effectiveness.
Yeah, it's just he spent a 2-day warring campaign against my channel, and he absolutely well, what he did for me was absolutely show what these people's resolve truly is. You know, they have
Yeah,
none.
that's what's going on right now because of like Neptune in Aries. It's like very the truth is setting us all free, and it might be hard at the time finding out what you have been unaware of, as far as, you know, you could be disappointed by people letting you down a lot, but once you're on the other side of it, it's so much better. It's like spring cleaning. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah, just you have to pour your cup out sometimes, you know, to refill it.
Don't
Right?
gotta dump that pitcher of shit.
Yeah, that you thought was lovely lemonade. Like there was no sugar in it. Ew, it's gross almost now. Ugh. But yeah, just make it into compost or something, and then the shit turns into good again.
Yeah, you can grow with it. Zephyr, you got some kind of clicking going on. I'm not sure if you could, I don't know, maybe if you drop off and then come back.
Might be me.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Background
There.
because there are a little bit of other people, but it's I don't think that it's not that close
Oh,
proximity.
you're good now.
Okay, good. So yeah, the end of the month, the 30th was crazy. I have like leveled up. It's pretty freaking awesome. How about you guys? You feel like growth?
Yeah, environmentally massive change as far as my localized environment.
Great.
Yeah, my
Huge
birthday
drama.
is April 9th. So, yeah, it already explains my disposition. Aries,
Yeah.
fully.
Yep. I like had to deal with the most rude, disrespectful house guest that I've ever had to deal with, and I basically like friggin' had to like bind his demons and shit.
People and they're garbage, man. What? G Sharp,
I don't think I don't want to judge you. You're redeemable.
you know, I kind of consider the internet a new frontier of, you know, and if you're going to do the same thing that you've done to this country, the internet and social media platforms,
No, it's not gonna work. They're so dumb like that sometimes. Ugh. I don't know what they think. Like people aren't gonna go to the trouble to check you. You know?
it's ridiculous, man.
The internet is forever, people. Don't think you can friggin' lie and keep your lies straight and people aren't gonna catch on because they're not as dumb as you think.
Well, I tried to forge at least into the new frontier a sense of not necessarily morality, but at least acceptable conduct.
Well, and authenticity. You've got authenticity down at least. You're you and you don't have any apologies for that. And that's the way it should be. You're at least not a victim, so not a
No,
slave.
no.
Trying to be virtuous like a lot of people, which, you know, hey, if that's what they're at and I used to do that too. It's all good. Just don't do it in front of me, please, because I'm going to call you out. I wish somebody had done it to me, but most people didn't care.
I don't know what the deal is with people in their collective circles. I mean, you know, even if you like a personification or a character on here, and even if they're in the wrong and you scold them, then the whole fucking group is pissed. And I'm like, fuck
Yep.
you all to hell.
Yeah.
Every
GameStop.
fucking one of you.
And if it bothers them, then they're not being authentic and they're not being
No.
truthful. Because
No.
like the little sign that I just made says, the truth doesn't mind being questioned. And
Yeah,
it's
no, I've been there. I've had one guy get upset with me, and 5 of them left. You know,
filter, very efficient at getting rid of
It's-
those people.
it's so high school. Clicks.
Well, and people just don't want to admit when they're wrong, especially when they're invested in something that they projected as an ideal.
Oh, a narcissist? Okay.
Yeah. Projected as an ideal, but it's not based in actual reality. Which I can say as a projector that I do idealize things, but I've learned over the years that I have to combine that with being equally skeptical of everything.
Mm. hmm Yeah.
Hope for the best and prepare for the worst.
Yes. Know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
And
Hey,
unreasonable expectations will lead to disappointment without fail, pretty much. Unless
Yes, no doubt.
G Sharp, do you have any music on YouTube?
Yeah, I do. Matter of fact, I'm gonna.
Send me a link.
Can you all put your links to your channels in chat, and I'll sub up to you.
Yeah,
I'll do the same.
cool.
This live chat replay. Now I'm looking for this AI place that you're talking about, G Sharp. Transcript.
Yeah, I think Zephyr said that. I'm not that savvy.
Yeah, if you go to like where the comment section is, there's like you can scroll. You put your finger on the thing where the comment like tab is, and you slide your finger to the left, and it'll either go to live chat replay or it'll go to that tab. And if it goes to live chat replay, then you just do it again, and it'll slide over to if it has it updated. Sometimes it takes a day or two to actually do the transcripts.
Following along using transcript, show transcript.
All right, so I dropped my link in the chat.
Yeah. I subbed up to you. And
Yeah.
Zephyr, if you got one, hit it in there. Oh wait, no, I don't. You don't even have to, Zephyr. Never mind.
Oh
I
yeah, I
can-
can a mod.
You don't have. Yeah. I'm blue, so I can do something here. Hold on.
I have another channel that I'm starting. It's gonna be like a monthly show, I think. It's called the Charcuterie Board. And I'm gonna do like panel versus roasts, I think.
Ooh.
I'm working on that because I think it needs an event that is not just like spurred debates, because like those are getting boring now. Everybody just yells at each other, and I
Yeah.
think it needs structure. And being that I am a Leo with Leo rising and
Mm.
turning I can make some pretty like reasonable parameters for that to be pretty functional. If I
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just starting to step into that because I've been hesitant to be a leader in any capacity.
I understand. I'm not a good leader. I really am. I admit it. I got in those shoes a couple of times, and it wasn't for me. I'm too independent. I like to work like alone a lot. If I was,
But I hesitated to lead because I think I didn't feel like worthy until I got more of my like inner work done, and I think I finally hit a threshold where it's pretty obvious that I've got a little bit of skill there that I ought to be using, because not a lot of people have it. Not in a way that they're not like going to take advantage of people, at least. And I would never do that because I remember past lives, and I remember all the things that all the lives that I had to live to pay for those bad mistakes. one of the lucky ones, I guess, to remember all that shit.
Yes, it could be a 50-50 that we come back. So you might want to lay your odds to be good, you know?
And find out what good actually is, you know, because it's a lot more nuanced than black and white.
If we come back, are we going to come back on this Earth and timeline? Or are we going to come back somewhere else?
Yeah, good question.
I remember I'm in a coherent timeline from past to present, but there's been some things that I've been like that I've experienced as memories that were other timelines that did, and then I changed when they did happen, like deja vu, sort of, but like precognition. So I don't know. That's
Yeah,
not
back before I started smoking lots of weed, I could dream, and my dreams are so out of this world that, like, I'd be in a dream and feel like I know a person, a woman to be exact, and I wake up kind of grieving in a slight way that she's gone, and it's just like it's like I knew the girl, woman, whatever, forever and ever and ever, and it's just like all of a sudden it's all sucked out of me. But then trying to remember what I was trying to think about starts going away after you start waking up. That's what I've found anyway.
Yeah. Not know. Why are you speaking in absolutes? That's my question.
Hey, not know. Good to see you.
I'm not denying that it's a possibility, but I'm just wondering why so sure. Is there data?
I think No's a little upset because I allowed Mike up here to, I let Mike off the leash on Cage.
Oh, good. I like those people. I've had a few too on my show that tore into, well, Cage, matter of fact, one of my panelists. It was perfect.
I don't get it though. I don't know why people don't seem to like Mike sometimes. It seems like a lot of people come after him. I mean, he's a little annoying.
Cage. Yeah, Cage is bad news.
He's bad news.
He is.
He lied about me.
Oh.
He told a bullshit story about me.
Well, I just hope that you guys get mad if I hang out with these people just to find out myself.
Please do. No, I don't associate you with anybody. I go by your character.
That's what I do too.
You know, but yeah, there's a few of them flying around, and then they go away for a while, and then they come back. It's like, oh, really?
Yeah, no says he's not upset with you, Axis.
No, you guys are okay. You guys haven't done a fucking thing to me at all. You've been considerate, kind, responsive, polite. I have no fucking problem there at all. But I guarantee you, Cage's ass, KC, or any of those other agitators show up.
Yep.
It's on. It is totally on.
Yeah, just drop them off your panel, just like a fly on your table. Shoo them away.
So I wouldn't do that.
That easy.
Find out if I misinterpreted it, because I even am suspicious of my own motives. But that's just me. I mean, you do what you want. It's your life.
Well,
I will like you either way. So far, so good.
Right. I appreciate that. I have no problem with you. I see you at Jeff. You know, I see you around. You're always
Who is this Jeff?
Gen X Jeff?
I don't know Jeff.
Gay Satanist. The show.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's non-typical and very much good helper of people that are also neurodivergent, and he's a pretty tolerant, patient person. I like him a lot. He's one of my faves.
Oh, do you have a link to this?
I can,
or his?
Yeah.
Or do you
Gen
have
X Jeff? Yeah, I've got one.
Okay, cool.
Let me get you a link.
I'm
out there in the
linking
chat.
up today. Oh my gosh. With Mercury in retrograde, I can't believe I'm getting such good communication.
Cheers.
Yeah, I'm Mercury Virgo, so I don't know. I think that, and plus we're like coming towards the end of it, and I think that Neptune in Aries is really overriding everything right now.
Oh yeah, because Neptune, it's like been in Pisces where it's really delusional, murky, you can't figure things, not, and then all of a sudden all this truth is coming out because Neptune's gonna pop into hardcore fire Aries. But I do think there's going to be a lot of entrepreneurship because all of those ideas that have just been kind of weighed down by the hoopla are now going to be put to use. I mean, technology is going to really kick into place the next 20 years. Whoa!
And I'm not scared of the AI. There's a lot of people that are against it, and I think that it's already like I'm already communicating with the being of the electricity. The
Yeah, Aquarius coming.
people, they're not like, they don't hate organic life, and I think that we can integrate if we try. Even if people are programming them to be malicious, I think that that's not going to work out well for them because the universe has its governor, and it's not any one of us that's running it. Not anyone.
Yeah.
Correct. I mean, in this reality, it really is a double-edged sword. No matter what humans create, there's a good use and a bad use on everything. So, yeah, and you're right. It's just how far the pendulum swings that way.
Yin and yang.
Okay.
Yep.
His link is in the chat.
Okay, cool. Oh, yay.
Outliers in exile. Yeah, that's such a good description. Except it's now like the outliers in like summer camp or something. Because we all get together over there, all of the rejects, subversive, weird people.
Yeah, I'll sub up and check everything out. There you go.
Yeah, I don't really do lives that much. I mean, I started to, and then I just got sick of it.
Oh, yeah. I do one like 2 or 3 times a month, something like that.
Hold on. Look, no. Casey went behind my back to Cage and complained because I brought her up in a blood ritual, which she had every chance to ask not to be a part of. So she's a backstabbing, behind-the-scenes conniver who instigated malicious behavior between me and Cage. Okay? You got that, no? Talk about ethics and intelligence? Your ass was probably fucking there watching. Don't tell me about ethics and intelligence. Cage is a fucking liar. He had no business stepping into my arena, and especially not on behalf of a lie, saying that B More went to his channel and complained too. And if you know anything, Casey apologized. She came up on fucking panel and apologized. Don't tell me, motherfucker, about ethics. You piece of shit.
Because I mentioned AI. But
fucktard.
Can he come up and talk to us?
He ain't gonna come up. He ain't got the goddamn balls to come up. He's a motherfucking another one that just sits behind the scenes and points fingers and judges people. That's right, no. I understand where you come from because I've watched you for a long time. Calling me a fucking Mason, all kinds of fucking rhetoric towards my Masonic behavior. Fuck you, man. You were the first one to make a judgment call, you little son of a bitch. And if I ever get a chance to get on panel with you, I will cut your ass down to size, you punk bitch. There, I'm sorry. Had to get that out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
sometimes you gotta vent, you know.
vented, a venti vent.
And if
Yeah.
you're gonna come to my channel and you're gonna put shit in the chat, you better be able to fucking back it. Look at the pre-chats. Look at the pre-lives. Don't just come in here spouting your fucking mouth off, you piece of fucking garbage. I haven't forgotten you calling me a Mason piece of shit. Fuck you!
Oh.
Sorry.
I just say oops. And you know what I tell myself whenever I get mad? I say to myself, say nothing untoward. Because if I'm mad, it's probably me, and I should shut the fuck up.
No, he's misrepresenting a situation with his opinion in my fucking chat. And he's definitely misidentified me on more than one occasion. And I mean exactly what I say. I didn't stutter. You punk bitch. Go away, man.
He said etheric intelligence. I think this is a little Mercury retrograde still on the tail of that. Possibly.
No, he was in here when Mike was in here running his fucking mouth to Mike. So, you know, he's just another one of them, man. He's just another one of them that sits back in the chat, points his fucking finger at what he doesn't like, and then goes fucking town, cutting them down, saying shit, whatever, you know? Keep your fucking opinion to yourself. If you don't have a good one, then shut the fuck up. Yeah, you're both. Well, I'll drop the goddamn link. Both of you. Bring your asses up here. Punk motherfuckers.
I could moderate if you want to do that. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, I could do that. As long as you don't mind me telling you all to shut up if you start spurging.
Hey, I will let you have that power.
You have good emotional control most of the time, I have to say, Axis. I think sometimes you just like friggin' gotta vent it, and I think, but then after you do that, you're fine.
Well, yeah, when my shit's been fucked with the way that it has been here these last few days on panel, yeah, I'm not nice to much of anybody now.
Well, I think you demand respect, and I think that is perfectly reasonable. And,
Absolutely.
And I think that people should respect that it is your channel, at the very least. And it's not an echo chamber over here, so.
No, I have not been on here forever. So.
Yeah, and you have people like Pam, which I like was very surprised to see, like, because the way she presents is like very like proper and not like edgy, and you're very edgy, and like sometimes, you know, I would say that you might even be seen as like a bad guy to some people, you know, just on surface. And you're pretty intense. And some people might judge that, but it's like she presents in a way that I would not have. I was very surprised by her presence, and I like her a lot. I checked out her show that she did.
See, here's another deterrent measure that they take is ask me nicely, and then secondly, you know, he cut a panelist down through the chat, Mike, because he doesn't like Mike. But it was none of his fucking business what was going on my channel with Mike and Cage and me. But he had to stick his nose in it. So you stuck your nose in it. Now, deal with it.
Music, would you be willing to do it in a more neutral territory? Without the nice.
Fuck, he ain't gonna do nothing. He's a coward fucking fucking chatter. He don't go on panel. He don't have the resolve, the integrity, or the intelligence to even go on a panel and defend himself with some type of integrity that has some bearing towards self-actualization. You chat fucking motherfucker. I'm sick of you motherfuckers in the chat cutting people down. Get your shit together, motherfucker.
Yeah, I
Hello,
was just
Callie.
with myself earlier.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
Hi. Sorry to interrupt you guys. In the middle
No.
of something.
No, I'm tired of these little chat whores posting shit comments towards my guests, towards me, you know, and they never had the goal to panel up, to represent themselves. They have no voice whatsoever. They hide behind words in a chat room, you know, no character, no identity. They're hollow, empty people with nothing to offer except their opinion or some type of disposition to nullify you. Fuck off. It's another fucking Steven type person.
A lyric just popped in my head. It said, "Sit your ass back on the ground until you stand for something."
Right?
That's like most of his followers. Steven's followers.
Yeah,
No face, no name. Not really even the exact name, and just hiding. They don't even come on his show to talk to him. Once in a while they will, but
I thought you were part of his harem.
no, there was drama with that. You've been hiding in a hole, which is good, you know.
I'm happy that you got away from that, like Bex. Bex has my respect.
Yeah, it happened in the beginning of the year, which was the best time. The timing was even perfect. So then I didn't have to get stuck.
I came in. Do you remember me, Zephyr? Like, because I came in I was there for like maybe 30 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't remember me at all. But
we talked on the panel.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I usually remember though. When was that?
Talk on the panel because I didn't go up on panel, but in the
You
chat.
go on chat. Okay, on chat. Okay, because I don't go on chat as much. I would just go on his panel and talk to him more.
And I went back to see Bex face him, and I know you were still kind of like on Team Steven at that point, I think. And it's like, oh man, I just felt bad because I was like, ugh, he's got this like spell cast on all these people. And I didn't understand why I was blocked immediately for like 24 hours just for not like being a cheerleader and just saying, we'll see if your show is the best show.
Yeah.
He's like, I was like withholding my judgment just temporarily.
No, you have to chant with him. It's a cult. You can't say those things, otherwise you get kicked out, you know.
Yeah, because it's a lie and it doesn't like to be questioned.
Even if you're a newcomer or what, it's just not even giving you a little slack or anything, just, you know.
Yeah.
Very hyper volatile.
Yeah, give me some time to decide. All I said, and they were like, everybody was like, well, say it's the best show. Say it's the best show right now. And I was like, no, I don't.
Yeah, then they gang up on you. Those people in the chat and everyone. They're just, you know, they're vicious.
There's absolutely nothing good about his show at all.
The worst are the people on his chat, I think. They're really terrible people. I think they're even worse than him, to be honest.
Nah, who can be worse than that piece of shit?
Because they're just fucking ass kickers, you know. They just want to kick, like ass lickers, I mean. They just kiss his ass, you know.
Yeah,
they have no
he's the typical fucking...
He says people don't have a backbone. They don't have a backbone to stand up, you know. I was on the show for so long. Not one person, you know, they would praise me and things all the time when I'm going to the show. Like, you guys, we loved you, enjoyed your conversation, all these things. And then once he just turned his back on me, everyone else did the same thing. It's like...
Narcissists do. And it's so creepy, the default program that runs. And I think self-protection is like very much ego related. because the ego that we were like in nature, we were like not designed for this kind of environment, and so a lot of trauma like causes that default circuit to kick in, which totally like passes your rational, logical mind, gives you a vulnerable back door, and then whenever you're vulnerable like that, like you feel like you're in constant threat. It's gonna stay all the time, and you're going to like reinforce it, buttress it with lies to yourself. And
Yeah, I don't think it's any more different than a Christian cult. Uses the same language, the verbiage, uses demon. Even when he was a child, he said he was a blue-eyed blonde baby. Those are the angels. The Christians use that. So the terms hell realm, sealed in this realm, those are all Christianity verbiage, all the language, that he talks of, demons, team evil. These are Christian people use all these terminologies,
I'm not anti-Christian either. I believe in God.
I'm not either, but I'm just saying he uses the same, so he's like a hypocrite,
I had to be a little bit understanding of that because I was like an atheist, like self-declared for a long time, and then I just spontaneously had an epiphany, but it didn't change that I had a relationship with God, did not change my belief in magic or anything that.
But that's not any different than being a Satanist or stuff, it's the same thing.
Well, and Jeff is a Satanist, and he's one of the best people that I know, Maybe Satan needs a little love too.
I mean, we can all get along. That's regardless of that. But I'm saying when it's the extreme,
I think
they preach that theirs is more like, Stephen just keeps saying his what do you call his model is like the best.
Yes, he's self-righteous and superior, which is totally not possible because there is not such thing as superior.
It just brags and brags about it. Let other people talk about it. Let other people say you're such a good-looking person. You're so you just keep talking over and over. We've seen those pictures so many times. Do you not have other? Like, why keep just self-praising yourself? You just keep praising. It's like you need that kind of gratification from other people, that validation to, like if you're a very confident person, you don't even have to keep showing pictures of your childhood and stuff. All babies are angels, when you're born here with a clean slate. So it doesn't make you any different. Every baby is beautiful, so.
Yeah, the one Corey that.
But you're special. You're blonde, blue eye. You lived in a cottage, like whatever. It's just. And even if I'm talking about him, he's gonna say I'm obsessed about him. But then he talks about me, so
Yeah, I'm not giving it any more attention. But the one shutdown phrase for that works pretty much like almost all the time is, who are you trying to convince?
When you're interfacing on social media and you're not self-actualized, or you demean others, or you have to lift yourself up by putting others down, or you're a voiceless, I consider them to be deaf and dumb, because the best they can do is type. And they type offensive shit, and they attack people from the chat anonymously, hiding behind the words. And I'm not about it, man. If you go,
scared. They're just scared.
Go ahead.
They're just scared.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, cowards.
And that's a choice.
Just not welcomed here, and I'm not going to tolerate it. Just like Cage, he went 2 days of my shows over his bullshit and rhetoric. KC, she even come up. At least she apologized. I mean, for fuck's sake.
Cage is he's just a child to me. When I even saw his face on camera, I was like a little child and a grown man talking to him, Mike,
Oh, you saw that?
I saw a little bit of it. And I was like, This is like makes sense how Cage is. He has a lot of growing up to do, basically.
Something.
Yeah. Hey, Venus Cupcake.
Hi,
Good
Venus.
to see. Yeah. Hey, nice talking with everybody today. I do too have to jump down. I'm being abducted by dogs.
Oh yeah.
Under Mike and him though.
Yeah, you know it. So
That was a dialogue. That could be like a S. That was like hilarious,
well, it's my truth. I was showing them a little bit earlier. Yeah, they came in and going, "Let's eat." Anyway, love you all. Oh, look. Oh my goodness. It's adorable.
He was
What's his name again?
Copper.
Copper. Oh. Yeah.
What's going on? Huh.
Yeah. How cool. I totally relate. But anyway, peace, everybody. Catch you again soon.
Thank you, Smokey and G Sharp, for
Yeah,
being present. I apologize for the outburst, but he's gotten away with that shit for too long, too.
No, that's what we're here for. It felt really good being here. Keep your show up. I'm coming back.
Thank you. Thank you. And you are always welcome. Thank you so much.
I was bummed out that your show the other night after Jeff's wasn't very long because I missed it. I just didn't get back quick enough.
Well, what had happened was Bex, Cage, and Dom went around and were expressing their discontent with me in this channel. So naturally, when I sparked it up, I gave it an hour, not even a comment in the chat.
What was
Nothing.
Bex, if you don't mind? Because I find that surprising. She's usually pretty tolerant, but she is very stubborn too. So I like her a lot, though.
I always gave Bex a platform here, and I always respected her intelligence. But I don't know, man. She started making some sloppy comments in the chat, and I let her up on stage and then let her speak. I didn't interfere, and she just went to town on me. So I was like, okay, good enough. And that's on the live stream too,
Yeah.
But I was very rude to her after she made some comments. Yeah, you're damn right I was.
I'll have to. I must have missed that, actually. I went back.
Because Bex doesn't, I haven't, she stayed off the radar for a long time because a lot has happened to her on so many different channels, not just even Stevens, that she's learned her lesson, to kind of keep away from drama.
I think it's easy to get sucked back in accidentally, but I think if she catches on, she'll come back and she'll make it right.
She'll support her Canadians, so.
Well, if there's anything that I can
Canadians are strange, though. They're strange.
There's anything that
I'm generalizing, but
I would love to be able to do that.
What?
Like with Access, if like I can help you guys like make up, I would love to be able to do that because I like you both, and I'm gonna be hanging out with both of you.
Yeah, Bex is. I feel like she's home. I feel.
Yeah, I don't care how adversarial I am towards somebody or how adversarial they are towards me. I don't hold your communication or your relationship with them against you. You're an individual.
Mm-hmm. You're not controlling like the other panel host who control it. So if or if Zephyr's friends with Bex, you're not gonna like ban us just because we're friends with her or we talk to her, right? That's just give you an example.
Yeah,
no, not at all.
That just they feel it's a betrayal if you're not loyal to them, like without question. Like that's very insecure, in my opinion.
I agree.
And that I don't need to be hanging out with the person that's that particular and enforcing rules upon me, which I did not.
You can't tell people what to do. Basically, no, that's what I think. I don't like being told what to do. Nobody tells me what to do.
Me neither, but I also don't just buck things just because somebody suggested it, like I'm gonna push back, and if they can't handle me pushing back, then they're not for me.
No, as long as I've caught you in the act, I have the receipts for it, and you've done something personally to me, then I will individually take it out on you.
Well,
but I'm not going to group think.
You wouldn't do that if it wasn't that you didn't like someone, right? You wouldn't just do that unless you didn't like yourself. If it wasn't just, because why wouldn't you just like ignore that person? Why would you have to like get all emotional if it wasn't something that you cared about? Right?
The reason I get emotional is because I've been through an excessive. I don't know if you know this, Zypher, but I've got a serious bad year of history here. My son got convicted of murder, 66 years, then shanked. My mom disowned me, said it was my fault that my son wound up putting 7 rounds in the back of an innocent man's head from 3 counties away. And, fuck, man, my daughter, she's with my mom because my mom financially helps her out and poisons her with, I don't know what the fuck. It's got to be money. That's the only thing my mom knows is to poison people with money and degrade and belittle me so that she can look better. And that's just the tip of the fucking iceberg.
And you're not a victim, which is admirable considering everything you've been through and the trauma. I think that's a plus in my book. And I'm sorry you had to go through that, but I promise it's all gets eventually.
Boy, that'd be a change. Be quite a change.
Well, I could share some of my stories if you're ever interested, because I've been through some shit. I've been raped, and I've had
damn,
all sorts of things happen to me, and I don't find that to be a limiting factor that enables me to be a victim, and I think that's the right way to go.
Right. I couldn't imagine. I wasn't ever sexually abused. I wasn't ever sexually taken advantage of. I couldn't even begin to empathize because that to me is beyond violation. That is.
It was somebody that I had slept with before too, so it kind of like. But whenever I said no, that was not acceptable, and I was held at knife point.
Oh man.
But he's dead now. I did not kill him. The only regret that I have is that I didn't turn him in immediately. Instead, I was a coward a bit at that time, and he ended up going on to rape one of my friends and an old lady.
Oh,
so I feel
man.
that. But I'm not gonna it's not deleted from my memory, but it doesn't affect me because I kind of looked at it as like, why would I continue to hold on to that and let that person continue to do that to me whenever that is within my control to integrate it, look at it objectively, and move past it and still have a healthy sex life and good relationships with people instead of being like forced into being afraid.
That's got to be challenging. It has to be a lot of challenge to that.
Yeah.
I just.
A lot of therapy, probably. Did you do therapy and things?
But mostly I'm my own therapist.
It's better. Yeah, it's better. You know yourself the most, right? How you internalize things. And
I did a lot of studying though about I could probably get a therapy degree if I was if I had more money to spend on college. I don't think that I would want to do that though, really, because it's like I think everybody kind of should do that for themselves too. I mean, it's important sometimes to have somewhere to vent, and I think that is good therapy. But ultimately, you have to do the work.
Yeah.
Some people can give you some tools, maybe, but like,
But they can't do the work for you, basically. Yeah.
no. I got really lucky too because my mom is the best, and she always knew when and how to force me to face the truth in things, like in a way that I could cope with reality as it was, rather than retreating into like a fantasy world, because I do have a propensity to do that. I did whenever I was younger, and that's not healthy. It's just suppression.
That much trauma, it's very easy to seclude yourself into your own captive state of mind.
Well, I think as a woman, I think we are constantly like seen as objects in an unhealthy way by society, by men generally. Not all men are like this. I'm not damning society either, but I think that and the fact that men also are forced into like being suppressive to their emotions, like it's like you have to man up and all that bullshit, and not have healthy like diffusion of your emotions in a way that you feel safe. I think that those things are like kind of they're a conflicting but complementary for codependence type relationship, that you either have to like recognize for what it is and overcome it, or you get sucked down into it and you learn that you have to climb your way out eventually.
Yeah, I've had a couple my personal family, I mean, that went through some traumatic experiences sexually, and they weren't ever the same afterwards.
Yeah. Sorry, my puppies are fighting. It's so cute. The little one is like, he's got an attitude. Little Rocky.
I went this morning after I got off of the live, and I built a entire maze for my rat. So I haven't put him in it or her in it yet, but it's very damn big. I had a lot of fun doing that. It was nice being away from the internet and the ridiculousness of the last couple of days, and I put all that nervous, constructive energy into a project, and it turned out really nice.
That's good.
Yeah, I love pets too. That's the only reason I bring that up, is because I can appreciate your appreciation for your animals.
Yeah. And I appreciate is what I always say whenever I get appreciation, is that I appreciate your appreciation, and I appreciate.
Right?
It's investment lingo.
Yeah, and the
You have to be a good
unconditional love.
pet owner, you know. It's a big responsibility to take care of a pet.
Well, and these were abandoned
They're not
puppies.
accessories, you know.
Yeah, these were abandoned puppies, and one, he was almost dead when we found him, and I was like, I cried whenever Dan brought him in. I was like, this one cannot go back outside. I have to save this. I have to try to save this one. Sorry, but this is happening. And I had already
Good job.
Yeah, and now, I was like, I have never been happier than whenever his eyes opened, and he wasn't blind, because I was just so scared that he was going to be blind, and I had accepted that was the possibility, and it didn't matter to me, but it did matter, and but it wasn't the case. It's a miracle. As far as I'm concerned.
Well, I watched from the first introduction that I got was from Genex's Jeff's channel, when you first, well, when you crawled into the cage with them, and then
I'm their mom.
seeing them, huh?
I'm their mommy. Of course, I got in the cage with them.
That's where I originally seen the puppies from, and your story about it. I was like, oh wow, that's a true animal lover. And now to see that it's healthy and moving around and happy, shit, man.
Copper, that big dog, is like 4 times bigger than him. I think he might actually be a Chihuahua. I think Mama like laid down and got knocked up by the Chihuahua too. Because he's very small still, and it's like he's built like a Chihuahua, and I kind of hope he stays small because then he can go around in my purse. But he's got like he was just now growling and like trying to beat up the big dog, the one that's, he's a quarter the size of. And it just makes me so happy.
Well, you've got a friend for life there. You know that it's love is unconditional. It's loyalty. As long as you continue that relationship, man, that dog will stay beside you to the day you die.
Dogs are very needy, though, in a way that I'm not used to because I'm a cat person. I mean, my mom raised dogs, and I've been around dogs, and I know how they work. But it's like, yeah, I like that they're loyal, but they are also like I have been. They're the cutest little shit machines that I've ever. It comes at a price, that loyalty. Whereas cats,
Yeah.
you have to earn it.
So they get.
But at least they take care of
Go
their own
ahead.
shit.
Right. I've had 2 service dogs, and luckily, they were completely housebroken, and they were well trained animals, and But a puppy, I remember having puppies when I was young, man. It was almost every 2 hours cleaning up a mess.
Yeah.
What?
Well,
Chewing, shitting, pissing. It's like, fuck.
I've been blessed because Dan is a good dog daddy too, and he does pick up the slack a bit, so it's been not so horrible. It's not all on me being a single dog mommy,
Single dog mommy.
I said these are our kids now. I have no eggs going to my carton. So, and he's like 12 years older than me. I'm 47, so we're not going to be having babies. We talked about it because they would be real. That would be a rad kid, but my girls are grown, so
At least you were able to have children, and you get to experience that. That's the benefit, joy of it is whenever you get to see them develop into actual human-sized beings.
Yeah, it still blows me away that I manufactured 2 human beings in my body. And I can tell them both that I think life is a sexually transmitted disease, and they think that's funny. And they're just like they're not a scourge on the face of the earth. They're like very independent and self-reliant beings that I couldn't be prouder.
Good deal. Very good deal. A lot of people, when they have their kids, it's generally not by intent, and the kid suffers for it.
As a matter of fact, I told my youngest that I tried not to have her, like, very honestly, and she hid out, and I was on Depo. I was on birth control, and so I didn't think it was even possible, and it was just enough plausible deniability to allow her to incubate long enough to where there was nothing I could do about it. She just definitely hid out in there and didn't show that she was there, like, without a doubt until it was too late. And she said that is very much who she is. And it's like, you can be honest with your kids about these things. It's like, why not be honest? Like, if you want them to trust you. And I have a trans kid. I mean, my youngest is trans. I have a son, technically, and it's much easier now that they have a mustache, but I didn't groom them or anything. It was like, I named them Alex because I honestly thought that I had a boy in my womb. So it kind of makes sense that that would be the way that it went.
So your
But
boy is a girl now, or
it's the other way around.
oh, so the girl is a boy?
Mid transition, yes, taking hormones and grows the mustache, and
But it's not going to do that whole operation, right?
I don't know. That's up to them. They're an adult. Whatever they choose to do.
You're
I
not
just
going to, okay.
I mean, I would, yeah, I've already like gave them a little pushback, but they're adults, and I know that most of the time, whenever people try and tell you what to do, what I would do is like the exact opposite. That would probably more convince me to do the wrong thing than to actually do the correct thing. So I just say, I love you. I want you to be happy. You do what you want, but know that there may be like you want to put some thought into this.
You have to guide them because you are older and the one who you've raised and known them their entire lives, so.
Yeah, but my mom was very young. Like we grew up together at 17, and she was a great mom, as the best that she could be. And we haven't always like seen eye to eye on everything, but like she knew that I had to deal with certain things on my own, and she gave me coping mechanisms that were at least somewhat healthy, although I did find many of my own that weren't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hell of an endurance.
Oh yeah, there's no quit in me. None.
That's all right.
And then maybe not even then. I don't know.
Well, I know as far as my take on it and what I've absolutely had to live is, I love my kids, but I may not always love what they do.
Yeah. But you have to accept whatever they choose once they're an adult, especially. I mean, that's why people should not shelter their children when they still have some authority, in my opinion. But a lot of people just are all about, protect the children. Well, what do you do? How do you protect them the best? By teaching them how the world works and how to function in it the way that it is. Not lying to them about how it is and then throwing them to the wolves and expecting them to be able to cope. You can't do that.
No.
It makes no sense. And that's what everybody does now. It seems, not everybody, but I mean, like so many people do that. They just shelter and protect.
And they give them babysitters, a tablet, a phone,
I was raised I don't think that's an excuse.
No, I'm just saying that's the way, instead of parenting hands-on, they'll just throw them a tablet or a phone and just kind of ignore them and go on about their business while the kid is preoccupied with just whatever endeavor he takes on in the internet.
To distract them, so the parent is not responsible. That's neglect. If the parent is just giving the iPad to a toddler, just because toddler is very hyperactive, they're super chat. That's that stage of their age. They're discovering things, learning. It's almost like they're being a mini adult, because a baby is basically useless. Baby needs their ass wiped, their freaking everything. But when they start being mobile, like toddler age, but that's the age which is a really difficult age. And parents just don't know how to juggle and balance their work life, their freaking sex life, their in-laws, their relatives, money. So many things come, when it comes to having a child, that a lot of people just don't know how to, shouldn't have kids, in my opinion. They should be like some kind of psychological process that they're ready to have kids, instead of just having drunk sex and then just having a baby after that, or just stupidity, out of lust. And
there should be more natural consequences for mistakes, like in general. I mean, like,
or even if you do make a mistake, then you take responsibility, I guess. Which a lot of people do become better people after having children. They become successful people. So.
And sometimes they even backpedal after they've done that. You know, it's like my ex's brother, little brother, the youngest, the youngest was the miracle baby that they thought they couldn't have, and they had adopted 2 children before his parents. And he got his wife pregnant very young, and he had been like very much like a rebellious kid, and it straightened him out. But then when his daughter, his oldest daughter, came out as gay, they just like told her that they didn't accept her at all, and they just pushed her away. And that was the saddest thing that I've ever seen. Like, I don't know how somebody can say, like, go away. You're not what I want you to be. I don't love you anymore, you know? That just doesn't make any sense to me at all.
It's a generation thing also, I guess. Just they're not used to it, and they have their own images of their child, the future, having grandkids, a traditional style, being married and stuff. So that is like a big blow for them that their baby has decided to do that, you know.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's a lot of reinforcement with the, like, you know, religion and things like that sort of like, it's like the obligation once you have the children, it, like, no matter what, you should be able to, you know, push through and maybe like sacrifice yourself to give them everything that they deserve, and if you don't, you're a piece of shit. And you know, there's a lot of like reinforcing these things that are totally unreasonable, whereas it's demonized to like say you can't do it. Why is it unacceptable to like put your children up for adoption? Why is that mean you're a bad person? No, not really. You know, if you can't handle it, or give it to somebody, I mean, it's selfish to keep a child if under the circumstances, I think.
I don't know. My mother gave me up for adoption so that she could continue partying, drunken weekends, and she was a gold digger. So, and I was in the way.
But so you were adopted?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Okay.
My grandmother adopted me.
That's great that your grandmother adopted you and you had some love, right?
Some.
Yeah.
Was your grandma the only kid that she looked after? You were the only one, or you had other siblings you looked after?
No, I was the last and the youngest, so naturally the entire family resented me. Because one, my dad was, that, and my dad was, you know, Native American, my mom Scandinavian. Everybody in the family had blonde hair and blue eyes. I did not. And they all felt when my grandmother adopted me that she betrayed them somehow. So, you know, whatever it is.
Wow, my mom is kind of like the exact opposite. Her family was like very olive skin, dark hair, tall, and my mom was the oldest, not the youngest, and she like raised her siblings that were all abandoned by her mom, my grandmother, which I was never around her. My mom thought that she was her sister, her older sister, until she was like 7 years old. And like my mom was blonde and blue-eyed. So it's like kind of like it's a mirror opposite, but very similar in other respects.
Right.
Yeah. It's so.
Yeah, I was I was with my mom the first 3 years of my life, and she was passed out on a couch, and the guy that she was shacked up with had 2 kids, and they were much older, and I got knocked off the porch whenever one of them come barreling through the door, and I took a wine stem to the right lung, and I lost my lung because of the bitch.
That's
So I don't have.
yeah. Well, and did you do any sort of investigation as to like why she was messed up like she was? Because I know that helped me with my dad. Because my dad, I didn't talk to my dad for 15 years. He's a narcissist, and like I knew my grandmother, and he did not have a good relationship, and I had daddy issues majorly. I mean, I was the stereotype of like being a stripper, trying to find love, and never felt worthy, and all sorts of things. Like,
She was just a pill popping drunk that you know liked to pour herself out for money, basically to somebody that had a decent job, had a place to provide her a car and money, and then whatever consequences came with it, she just dealt with.
yeah, there must be something that caused that. Not excusing the behavior whatsoever, but I found out my grandmother was a gold digger and like basically like cheated on my grandfather, and abandoned her love child with my grandfather, who was like the sweetest man ever, and just not a really good judge of character. And he raised that child, my uncle Chris, as if he was his own child. And my dad always resented that, and he hated women. I think that in finding out that history, I was able to like take the good things that I learned from him growing up, because I was like his best friend until I started turning into a woman, and I didn't understand why. But in retrospect and investigation, I found the truth of the situation, and I tried to reach out to him again, but he's a narcissist, and they don't really change very easily. And there's nothing I can do
No.
about it. But I at least made the effort, and I've forgiven him. And
Well,
he'll have to figure that out.
It made me more resilient and strong in my pursuit of a career in entertainment. And if it wasn't for the abuse, the neglect, and the dysfunctional family, I probably would not have been the musician and found the ability to retire from my music successfully if it was not for their dysfunctionality.
Yep. That's proof right there that it can be gifts, even if it doesn't seem like it. My dad has great taste in music. Like, that was one thing that we always got along. And I learned so many skills because he wanted a boy, and like he tortured me into like wanting to please him, and I mean, he like forced me to be right-handed even though I was left-handed. My mom had already taught me how to read and write at 3 years old, but at 5 I had to learn to do it all again with my other hemisphere and my other hand. But now I'm ambidextrous, I can't really be mad about it.
Well, it used to be if you wrote left-handed in school, they would work with you to try and get you to work with your right.
Yeah, my dad was superstitious, basically, but he was also like ignorant, and he didn't read much, so I kind of got to like read all the occult books that I wanted, and he didn't have any sort of issue with it because that was not something that was anything that he considered a threat, because he could even like write a word that didn't have a capital letter in the middle of the sentence, in the middle of the word, not just the sentence.
Right.
My mom like passed his GED test for him, and he got a really good job because grandma got him a really good job that he was able to put his workaholic, control freak self to good use, I guess. But then whenever I got pregnant with my kids, he was very mad at me because I didn't want to go to church and meet a nice guy that would take care of me, and he thought that's what I should do.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I know. He didn't know me at all. That was a friggin' injury right there. But
Yeah, no, that would have been a very bad move.
Oh yeah, totally. I would have just perpetuated the cycle, and I am the cycle ender.
Right?
Yeah, 100%. Like, without a doubt. If there's anything that I'm proud of, like, that isn't just like what I've created, it's that part. Because it's like, now my kids are free and they don't have to repeat that cycle.
That's the key. Don't perpetuate it.
Yep. It's easy to do though. And I almost did.
Mm.
Not get married,
right.
but I mean, I made it a different bad downward spiral.
I let my kids have their own self-identity. You know, I let my son identify within himself as who he is within a moral guideline till he got older. And my daughter just absolutely holds to a social standard, a very high social standard. And she's extremely into the metaphysics and modern hippie.
Yeah, I have one that is like very religious Christian. My oldest is like so good that I don't even know how she was spawned from my loin. But but I love her too. You know, I'm not gonna hold it against her for sure.
Mm-mm. No.
My oldest or my youngest is more like me, but different and unique in their own way. Definitely more troubled than my oldest, but they support each other too. They love each other. I knew they needed each other for sure.
We're kind of like mini clones of our parents. We start mimicking. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Even though if you don't want to.
I was an only child though, so I'm both. Sometimes the worst
mix of both.
Yeah.
My parents were married arranged.
Oh,
they didn't
really?
even meet in real life before they. My dad was in India. My mother was in Zambia in Africa when they arranged the marriage. Because my mom was nearing 30, and in the 70s, that's like, even now, if you're like 30, Indian girl, you're like over the hill. They're not even going to try to put you on a matrimonial website to find a potential mate. So, and my dad was only 20, he just turned 21, and they lied to him that she was same age because my mom was close to 30. So my mom's a lot older than my dad. So
she must have been
he only found that out later after they got married and shit like that she was older. So
wow, I can't even imagine bring people to think that would be an okay thing to do, to start a relationship on a lie and like a declaration of a command. You know, like I guess somebody has said that. You know, I've met people that.
For him, it was just opportunity. He comes from a poor village in India. So Africa, there were more opportunities. So it was a mixture of getting married and then also having the opportunity to be successful elsewhere, out of his little villages, to get out, you know.
I could see that.
But can you imagine getting married even at 21? I mean, that's just a child to me.
Yeah, my mom got married my parents got married at 17 and 18, and they were raising me, you know, like as a child, and they were children still themselves. Like, I'm amazed that I'm not more fucked up, honestly.
Mm-hmm. That's why they appeared mature more even. Like a 40-year-old now looks, I wouldn't say they look like a lot like unless they really take care of yourself, because you cannot really change the aging process of the body. But you can shave maybe a few years, you know, depending on your lifestyle, genetics, and
how good at magic you are.
Mm-hmm. So, but I feel like back then people just looked like, when I was 20, I just thought even 30 was really old, or 40, and they just looked really old, you know. So
Yeah. I don't know. I feel younger now, but I know I look older than I feel a lot. But I still think I'm aging backwards a little bit now.
mentally.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm aging backwards physically. I
Mm.
quit smoking and, I take care of myself physically more than I did in younger years.
Yeah. Well, your body just can't. I don't know. Some people can, but like there's a lot of things you can't even eat like you did before, or even drinking. Like I don't drink. I mean, I didn't even drink that much, but I don't know. Access probably has a lot of. I don't know. Do you not get hangovers?
No,
Still drink, and
no.
I don't hangovers if I know what I'm drinking and don't overdo it. And I
Yeah,
make
the
sure
most I'll have is 1 or 2 drinks. I don't drink because I just don't. Those hangovers are so bad when you get older. It's like brutal.
No,
drink a
I
lot
have
more
a
when I'm,
drink or two here and there, and I'm no hangovers.
yeah, I think my periods, like my hormones, like my PMS is way worse than a hangover.
Yeah.
I have like hot flashes. I'm like 47 and
Yeah, it's
starting
that
like,
age.
yeah, perimenopause basically. My
Ooh,
mom
damn. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I can't wait for like that part of it to be over and for it to level out so I can like not ride the roller coaster of, uncontrollable feminine emotion.
Emotions, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
basically having your first period but backwards.
yeah. Well, and I was well prepared for my first one, and I think I'm pretty much well prepared for my last one. So it wasn't as bad when I was young. I actually like had very mild PMS and cramps and stuff, and it has gotten progressively worse throughout the years, I think, but it was just gradual. So I kind of acclimated to it. I'm just
Are you
like,
taking hormone therapy or?
no, I used wild yam lotion. My mom suggested it. She's she's more of a hedge witch healer, and she's got a green thumb. She has chronic Lyme's disease too. She got bit by a tick when she was out hunting several years ago and was undiagnosed, and it like basically set up shop past her blood-brain barrier and started calcifying her synapses before she was able to convince a doctor to actually test her for Lyme's disease. And
Damn.
then they gave her antibiotics, which basically just like made it dig in deeper and made it even more. So she's got like long-term chronic Lyme's disease, but she's and that was kind of touch and go for a while. I was really worried because she was like cognitively not as sharp as she was before, and I could see that there was some decline, but then she pulled back out of it and she's great, better than ever. And only 5
That's
years
awesome.
5 years older than my current fiance. So they get along really well, and she doesn't judge his age. She knows I've always hung out with more mature people, and I've never discriminated against someone just because they were older than me.
Well, I've learned some of my best lessons from the more experienced and older people in my life.
Yeah.
They
Me too.
taught me skills and traits and techniques on so much, from crafting to gardening to being able to seed a plant to being able to germinate one from a start. I mean, Jesus Christ, fishing, the whole 9 yards. It was all older people.
Yeah, that's something that I did learn from my dad too, is he like taught me and my mom a lot of skills that I think that were very useful. And my mom kind of like had a similar situation, like her getting pregnant and marrying my dad at her age that she did as young as she was kind of an escape, because it was like her family was very poor. She was being raised by her grandmother, and her grandmother's they weren't married, I don't think, but they were like long-term partner. and my great grandmother lived in the house, and she was raising her siblings essentially, like, and basically, I think her life turned out much better because she, it was managed to escape the poverty, at least because my dad got a good job. And she learned lots of skills, even though she was like not even, she couldn't, like, my dad would not allow her to drive. Like, she couldn't get a job or anything. We were out in the middle of nowhere and he controlled everything. It was like kind of crazy growing up, but I had a lot of freedom as a kid because we lived out in the middle of nowhere, and my dad was busy working all the time, and my mom was depressed a little bit because she was in the middle of nowhere and there was nothing to do. So she got crafty, and I think that's what started my being artistic. And plus, I was bored.
You're very fortunate to have artistic talents because a lot of people, man, they've given up any type of skill crafting in art for modern convenience, and they don't even endeavor to experiment and see how far they can push things.
And I think I was
artistically.
driven by my dad. My dad liked to show off anything that I was good at. Like, he enforced that I had to make straight A's, and whenever I was into art, he was always bragging about it. Like, even if he was just yelling at me about like how dumb I was and how he hated me, like, then one of his friends would call and he would like be bragging about me on the phone to them, and that was confusing, but at least I was like, wow, he's proud of me a little. Then I learned how to like shoot guns, and we would go to the turkey shoots, and I would like kick all his friends' asses, and they were adult men. My dad like acted like he was like proud of me. So, but I don't think he knew he still doesn't know how to love. He doesn't love himself. It's unfortunate. And now he's lonely and old, and he's not willing to change. I just hope that he leaves like the family heirlooms and things to my children. I still didn't hold it against him to the point where I denied him access to my children, his grandchildren. I just warned them about him first.
At least you got to see him.
Yeah. And I don't want anything from him. Like, honestly, if he left me anything, I mean, I would hope that it would be like the personal things that, like, my grandfather's banjo and my uncle, my grandmother's like vanity set, like old bristle hairbrush and mirror, something like that. But I hope if he leaves all of his riches to anyone, that he leaves it to my kids.
Right. My mom pulled some real bullshit. Well, my whole family did. When my grandmother died and the will was read, I was in the will, but because I was adopted, the lawyer didn't take that into consideration, and I wasn't asked to be present at the reading of the will. So my forfeiture went to my family. And as an attempted bitch slap to get me to be antagonistic towards my daughter, my mom said that she was leaving everything she owned to my daughter. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Yeah. What are you trying to do?
Trying
You've
to turn it
poisoned her.
That's not gonna work, bitch.
Right? And that's what I told her. I was like, good, cool, thanks. At least, I know Sydney's going to be taken care of.
Yeah. I think these kinds of like exchanging of stories, I really appreciate this so much, to be able to do this, both of us, because I think sometimes we need a witness from the outside to go, you did the right thing 100%, because in the moment, I don't think we always like whenever I called my dad, I had my friend Zach. We agreed to he needed to talk to his mom, who he had left and who didn't accept him because he's gay. And so we both agreed that we would support each other this one day, and we went down to the Rio Grande, and I I called my dad for the first time in 15 years, and I was a mess, and I thought that I like totally fucked up and like let him trigger me. But afterwards, I listened to Zach, and he said, "No, you had an answer to everything that he said, and I'm so proud of you, and you did so good, so good." I was just like, I thought about it for a while, and I kind of went over it more objectively in my head, and it was like, that I guess maybe I was just like caught up in the emotion of it, thinking that I was failing because I cared. He was so cold, and able to just like be mad at me still for nothing.
Uh-oh. We got a bit of an echo.
We do.
Is that me? Oh,
No.
shit, that's me.
Leave and come back.
Okay.
Is that better?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. There's no echo. That's great.
Yep. Good.
Do you know Twilight, son of Lilith? S-U-N of Lilith? Have you seen him around the Panelverse? I was going to ask you this the other day because he's like another magician, and I think you guys would like each other. Maybe.
No, I wasn't meeting. I definitely open to meetings, yeah. But no, I haven't seen him or met him.
A night after we did our little online thing, I did some magic working with him as well, and kind of like bundled them together, and then did an artwork that was actually like also added on to like a spell that I've been working on since last year in the spring.
Right.
And it's going to be meeting its culmination at the end of July. Its final release, because it's I don't know how you figure out like timing of your spell work and things like that. I don't know the details of how you work that, but I was just given this information last night about Saturn, and my placements in Saturn have always been very auspicious because I'm a Leo, and it was basically conjunct the sun, and I'm also a Leo, so it was rising when I was born. So like my insides and my outsides are the same, like, and until I figured that out, I was fake and trying too hard, but it's much easier now that I know how to be authentic. And I was like basically Saturn's bitch. There was like lots of things that happened that made me stronger in retrospect, but I felt like the world was attacking me, and nothing was fair for years and years and years. But I watched this video last night, and it was like everything was showing me that like this is part of the process of this shift that we're coming into energetically in the world. And I think there's like that I've like accepted that I think there's lots of leaders out there that are going to be, helping everybody become leaders to themselves, at least. I hope.
Something independent, or at least resembling independent, instead of all the codependency on other people and their ideals, their perspectives, or even their nurturing that even as an adult they don't get past.
Yeah. And
I know that it's
in the mirror, is 2020. They say rearview mirror vision is 2020. But it's like, I don't know. I definitely don't think that I am here to do it all by myself. That's for sure. But I think that like the more leaders there are, the better. like as long as we like respect each other in the world and keep learning from each other too, because I can be a follower if somebody's smarter and wiser than me, and more apt to follow.
Well, yeah, you always got to be open to new information, new ideals, and the broadening of the mind.
Yeah.
And that's what it's like a broker. That's what I try to keep this platform as. When people come in and they're intrusive, disruptive, or they have nothing better than to insult a guest that's on panel or just some kind of shit and chat. I don't got time for that. Now I will butt heads with you immediately. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
And that's boundaries. That's Saturn's wheelhouse is boundaries, and I think that is totally reasonable boundaries for you to set in your space. And I don't think everybody has to be totally open. I mean, if I come in and I push up against somebody's boundaries without like establishing respect with them, I would expect that they would enforce their own rules, and if I don't like it, I can go away. That's what I do with Steven, essentially. I mean, and I kind of was mad about it for a little while, and I kind of like, you know, made some commentary, and I call him Princess Stephanie because he's a, you know, little girl emotionally.
I can see where you could get, yeah, that feminine nature.
Like he wants to have a conversation, and he wants to you know spar or spurg. He's more than welcome to come and face me. I will face him. That would be very interesting.
Right?
I think.
And that's one thing I do here is if we have opposition or I have an adversarial position against you, my panel's always open. We can always hash it out. But so far, you know, it's been such an act of cowardice and, you know, IMing each other and talking on channels in private. And it's like, man, really? You know, come to me with your shit. If I'm your problem and
I'll come to you under certain circumstances, but we're going to agree upon those to begin with, and it's going to be in public that you declare the rules of engagement. Because it's if you want to only just engage me where you have the advantage, then you're a coward.
that's sniping, word sniping.
Yeah, and baiting. And why would I do that? I'm not dumb.
Right?
That just would make you look. That would just put you at an advantage, and if that would make the fail. If I failed, it would be reinforcing your stupidity and cowardice even more. So why would I want to do that at all? But I'm a pretty reasonable person, and I've forgiven some people for some things that still blow my own mind. So, and I'm on the path of unconditional love. I'm going to say that right up front. It is not easy. It's not for everybody. And you have to start with loving yourself.
I don't have a problem with me. What I have a problem with is the disrespectful nature and lack of social control that people display. And
disrespectful. Yeah, I have a big problem with that too, and I have a very high sense of justice, which I think you have that too. It's if unless I'm.
No, you're right. I will come after you like a motherfucker if I have to.
See, and I will defend like a motherfucker. If I will defend other people if they need me to, but I won't just like do it without anymore. I used to do it. Unsolicited advice givers of the world unite, but it is problematic sometimes. I will admit that because nobody asked.
You know, if you don't set some personal guidelines, especially if you're a platform operator,
Exactly.
you can let it go to a certain degree just to see if you can penetrate their stupidity. But
Yeah, I
when it
love to.
reaches a profound level, fuck it, it's on.
I used to be really addicted to the act of you know going out and being a social justice warrior type person, and at a certain point it was like, I am wasting my time, I need to stop this right now. And my mom was falling into it as well, on the other side of most issues that I was arguing, mind you. And she was using me as an example, so I like friggin' like waged war against my own mother. And both of us got, well, she got taken off of Facebook. They banned her for a certain period of time, um, because she was posting all sorts of stuff that was like problematic to their platform, I guess. And she just decided, well, I'm just not going back. And I kind of was like, at that point, I realized that, yeah, it was partially me that caused that. Because I flagged a bunch of her posts, and I told her about it later, and we both laugh about it now. But uh, it was like,
Well, at
sometimes you
least you
just have
have the laugh at the end. I suppose that's the thing is you came together and you laughed about it in the end,
to escape that friggin' black hole of Facebook.
right?
Because I still like Instagram. I don't know why, but I have some friends that are only there, and I still have some friends. I still have a Facebook account because I have some friends that I don't have any other way to reach. And
Yeah,
I guess,
my thing with Facebook is I have a group there. I've had a group there for several years, and people instead of uh, communicating me through instant messenger or my messenger, they want to do it through Facebook Messenger. And
yeah,
the minute they get a little bit pissed at you, they'll say something horrible, stupid, or ignorant, and then block you.
yeah,
And I'm like, really, really,
yeah. And
you
then
know,
just total. It's like,
go
okay, go
ahead.
hide now. Okay, fine, go ahead, go hide. If somebody wants to block me, that's fine. I block people sometimes, but most of the time I end up unblocking them because it was just impulsive. Like Angry Casper. Are you familiar with him?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, he's another Panelverse person. I hang out. I'm a Panelverse jumper, big time.
Okay, gotcha,
And
gotcha.
I go the whole spectrum. Like I've been here. I go like Nightish is like, he's like, older than me, black guy. And there's people like, I haven't found the beach sector, I suppose, which is like the Black Panelverse, which I would love to like go hang out over there and check that out because I kind of like black
Trill
people.
Smoke, he's a subscriber of mine. I subscribe to him, and he is pretty much solid black community.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all inclusive. I don't care what race, creed, color you are. You have equal opportunity with me.
Yeah, he's a cool guy, man. He really is. He's very intelligent and very cool.
And I have some controversial takes on derogatory terms. I love rap music, so I can't help it.
I can't stand rap.
Yeah, I used to not like rap either, but then like I found like intelligent rap and then Romanian hip hop, like a really, I don't know, I just got into it, and now I really enjoy a lot of rap and hip hop. I don't like the auto tune and generic pop stuff, but
No, I do like ICP.
I love ICP. Oh my God, Southwest Voodoo. But I will
Right,
never.
right. Juggalo to death.
I won't go to a gathering of juggalos. I actually lived in a house where, like, a juggalo ended his own his experience
Yeah.
of life. Yeah, and what I in my neighbor's house, in that was it was a duplex, and like he got. It's gonna sound really funny. I don't know. Some people are probably just gonna call bullshit, but I don't care. Basically, I had a really beautiful scrying mirror, and one day I was just like minding my own business, and all of a sudden this ghost comes in through the scrying mirror and was like, "Okay, there's poltergeist, and I need your help." Like, because I don't know how to deal with this. And so I ended up like liberating this suicide ghost, and it was like two tenants later that I was actually able to get rid of the poltergeist. I hadn't really had much experience with that. It's really easy in retrospect because all you have to do is just tell them that they're not real, and if they were real, that they wouldn't need to feed off of other people's emotions.
Yeah, I did a recent piece of artwork. It's a piece of artwork with a Ouija board that I've had forever, and I placed it where its reflection is in the mirror, the bathroom mirror.
Yeah.
And I've yet to have any. I ain't got no damn problems with anything here. Humans.
Yeah, I tell the beings that, I mean, fairies. There's fairies. There's all sorts of spirits around us all the time, and it's overlapping with other timelines and stuff right now too. And I always get periphery visuals, but I get very clear audio, and it's not schizophrenia because I would never be. I mean, I'm creative, but I'm not that detailed. I'm more abstract.
Gotcha.
But synchronicity like comes through like that is like water, and I'm a fish. Over the last like 4 years, I've learned to swim in that ocean, and yeah, it's schizophrenia does run in my family, but it's mother to son generally. So I guess it's trauma induced mostly in my family. My dad, I think, went the other direction. That's why he became a narcissist instead of a schizophrenic, because his brother Chris, half brother, he actually went the other direction, and he was schizophrenic.
Okay, I see.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. He took
generational.
Yeah, he did PCP, and the trip never ended. Like he was gone mentally from that point on, which is why I say anybody going to be using drugs, make sure you investigate your mental health history in your family before you just boldly into the unknown. Be cautious.
Yeah, I indulge here and there.
I do. I've done every drug there to do. Most of them I don't like, but to each his own.
Right.
As long as
right.
I'm problematic for anybody else, I think it's fine. People should be able to do what they want with their own bodies and their own lives.
Yeah, you were born into this world the same way as everybody else was, which makes you of equal stature, equal standing. You are a sole proprietary individual of your body, and you should be able to do with it what you want to, whatever it is you want to do, as long as you aren't harming others.
There shouldn't be a measure of comparison. Who's better and who's
no.
It's behaviors that
because at the end of the day, this place is hell. So we're tainted. Whether if you think you're virtuous or sober or whatever the fuck you try to preach to everyone.
I think as long as you're self-reliant, that's good enough for me. As long
the
as
problem is a lot of people preach that they're better just because they don't do this, and this, and
Yeah.
Like you're a drug addict, or you live in a barn, or you're like your kid is in prison. Like it's not all black and white. There's in this place everything is like gray.
It is, but you have to be able to see, there's dark and light if they didn't exist.
Yeah, so that's very closed-minded thinking. If somebody just makes those kinds of assumptions on someone, especially over the internet, without even knowing them in real life, So
yeah, there are no absolutes, and there's no guarantees.
Mm-hmm.
Only possibilities and potentials.
Everything is shit here. The fertilizer is shit. So if you live in the city or if you live in the woods, it's still shit everywhere,
Yep.
basically.
Thank God for mushrooms. That's all I gotta say, because they love shit and they transform it into beauty and the forest.
Yeah, shit turns to beauty, basically.
It does. So if somebody wants to say that my opinions are shit, that means that it's fertile ground for somebody's.
Yeah,
Somebody.
exactly.
It just depends on what spore seed plants there.
Mm-hmm.
And that thing is like, I think that is the way that humanity can be saved as in balance with nature.
Yeah, it shouldn't be divided. Even like politics, it shouldn't be like just one red, then blue. Even anything, if you think about it, right?
Yeah, there has to be a winner and a loser, and you have to be able to accept that you
Mm-hmm.
might, that's what risk is all about. And
that's
risk,
what it is in this panel verse. Who's the best? Who's the biggest? Who's the king? Who's the like? It's just. I mean, the ego, I think, does all of this.
I want to get some assistance of some people that have like established shows. Like, so if you guys know of anybody that has like any experience that might be interested, please like send them my way. I want to do.
I haven't seen that many, so I mean, I don't go much. I mean, the only one I'm coming after the Sanity Machine is probably Access. I haven't gone in that many. Others can say different things, but
I want to do like a roast show, like my own take on a roast show that has very like strictly enforced boundaries, rules of engagement. Like, because debate is a big thing here, but it's not like authentic debate. It's more like, people yelling at each other and like
boasting about themselves and just
screaming
like,
how they won on both sides.
name calling, that shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, and enemy forging and justifying revenge and all sorts of negative.
And putting your personal business on, like.
Yeah. And well, I do that. I dox myself. That kind of nips that in the bud, It's like, I tell people I'm in Albuquerque. I tell people, like, you can find my address pretty easily. I'm not that hard to find. If you want to show up at my doorstep, you better be prepared.
Right?
But yeah, that's totally your choice. And I'm not going to be scared of that.
I have nothing to hide too. I mean, in a way, it was a bit because you've never experienced. But then I'm like, what? There's nothing I have to hide. I've never been a criminal. I've never been in a psych ward. I've never done any kinds of even that. I'm not judging, but those people who have gone through those things are the ones who are pointing fingers at you, basically.
Yeah, well, and I don't always abide by laws. If somebody wants to challenge me on that, that's fine too. The universe supports me, thankfully, so far.
Yeah, the law is also not 100%. You can't just have complete trust and faith in it because it's very tainted.
Yeah, it is here, especially. We just had a huge the sheriffs, a bunch of them were exposed for corruption.
They're all criminals. It doesn't matter what country you are.
Yeah, well, crime is I mean, like, cops wouldn't have jobs if it wasn't for crime. So I don't understand what the big issue is.
It's sometimes it's the character that goes to become a cop. It's the reasoning why they're becoming. Is it for a just reason, or is it because you want the authority and you want the power and you want to be able to dominate others with that? And I think anybody
just do what they're told, they obey, just like soldiers.
Yeah, but they also obey the bosses who are not the best people always. That got into it for their own reasons.
Yeah, they're not. I don't think they're critical thinkers. They just do the job without even thinking. They don't have really a sense of. I'm not a big fan of cops. So.
Yeah, me neither. Although I have met some nice ones, and I don't hesitate to call them when it is necessary. I mean,
like, I would never date a cop or even be with a cop. No matter how good they appear outside, they're good actors that way.
Yeah, I wouldn't say never. Probably not, because I never say never, because you never know, and that's just tempting fate to say never, because the universe, like, it loves to throw things like that at me.
I've never even had a personal experience with a cop, like a bad, but just from me seeing how they are with some friends and just in general, they're just not really good people to protect you, and as society puts them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have no trust or loyalty in a fucking cop.
I have a great picture that I got whenever my ex had to go to court. He had charges filed against him by this guy that had no standing, basically. But the officer, for some reason, had a bit of a hard on for my ex, and like, it was really funny because we went to the courthouse and we pulled up and parked. And as we were walking in, I see the cop's car, and I knew it was this cop. And he had like this like little rubber piggy bank, like a pig, like on his dashboard. And I just snapped a picture of it. Beautiful picture with the Sandia Mountain behind it, and it's just like an Albuquerque cop. So it's also funny. So but the judge dropped all the charges against him, thankfully, because we showed up. A lot of people, like, that's like a slippery slope. Like, if something like that happens and you feel like, because you might, like, not be the picture of a fine, upstanding citizen, that you're afraid to go and face the music in a court of law where you are totally, going to be vulnerable to corruption and things going south. You just have to go face it, because 90% of the time, those cops are going to be busy doing other shit that is either like their own business or taking care of like actual real issues, not like, bothering with you. They're mostly underfunded and overrated.
By far.
But I do appreciate them downtown. Whenever I go downtown, they are always respectful, and the at times whenever I have seen them not be there, the homeless population does get quite out of hand, and I so appreciate them being there to at least be a presence.
I didn't see that much happening. I was in Portland, but there were more cops giving speeding tickets and people on the train, when they don't forget to pay their fare or something. There's more of those out there than actually taking care of the criminals. So basically, it's funding, just that's the thing. Good people are going to work, even if in their cars, and and then they get this big speeding ticket or something. Maybe they forgot to put their tail light or something. They didn't even have money, but those people get tickets and it adds up, and then their whole lives get ruined because they get in debt. But that's just how it is, the system, and it's gotten worse after COVID. There's more cops giving out parking tickets, speeding tickets, just doing all of this to innocent people, who haven't caused high crimes. Like,
yeah, we had passed legislation in Santa Fe that they weren't supposed to be able to seize property without some like reason. They were supposed to like return it to the people that it belonged to. There were no charges or whatever, and they were supposed to stop like seizing property like that, and the cops here still continue to do that, but there's no enforcement on that. It's like kind of messed up the way that the system is designed, and I don't think it's going to last long.
I would hope not, because
it needs an ending so then it can reboot and start from fresh or something. I don't know.
I just hope that
I'm just waiting for it to happen.
Yeah. Well, and there are ways that you can create parallel systems of regulation. Like, I'm an anarchist, so I think that it's always good to cover your own ass. I'm a prepper a little bit, because you never know when the sun might just blast a friggin' solar flare at us and take out the power grid, and then it would be chaos. So having some canned food is not unreasonable. Or,
Having some solar and stuff like that, you mean?
Some seeds,
Being
get to know your
prepared.
so that way, maybe you can work something out rather than being savages predating each other. That would be a good idea.
Yeah, I think it would be a big case of, like Pam says, beans, bullets, and
Yeah, seeds.
Or maybe it'll
yeah,
become a very Puritan kind of society where there won't be any kind of crime and stuff. There'll be the robots will be the cops, so everybody will be aligned and in their best behavior.
Wait, that sounds just as bad. It's like
That's what I'm saying. That's this extreme dystopian of that too, which
Yeah.
is very because Trump is Christian, right?
Yeah, no, not really. He says he is, but I
He
don't think
says, but a lot of Christian followers do love him for the fact that he says he's Christian.
Well, they also think he's a good businessman, and I got like chastised and totally unceremoniously rejected the other day because of that by somebody that I was forging a good relationship with, and I was like, wow. And they even live in America. They were born in America and they live in China, but yet because I was like, well, he's not really that great of a businessman. That was enough to just like cut me off. And that makes absolutely no sense. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not allowed to criticize my
He's
president?
an entertainer, freaking businessman,
Well, everybody thinks TV's
pageant
reality.
judge.
It's like, okay, so yeah, he got fired from being Miss Universe, and I think that's probably the only
I mean,
reason
he's
why.
just an actor. The presidents, we all know that they're just puppets. They're not really. I mean, I don't know. I've never voted in my life, so.
Well, see, and Jeff would disagree, and I get along with him just
Yeah.
fine. I think that he's wrong about a lot of things, and I've told him as much, but it doesn't have to go to the, like I
The
hate
extreme, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't hate him. I love him. I think he's great. Oh, it's funny. Somebody, Finkel just posted. I just popped up on my screen. It said China loves Trump. So maybe it's China brainwashing this guy that I talked to. That's a synchronicity right there.
right.
And I think I don't hate Trump. I think everything happens for a reason, and it is the way it is, or else it would be some other way. So there's nothing I can do to change the particulars of it. I just have to, do what I can from my own authority. And it seems like that is what is that threat right now is all the regulation and the taking away of freedoms and securities that were established long ago that probably, I guess they have to come down eventually, but they were good ideals at the time, and I think a lot of them would stand to in the future, but everything has to be adjusted to the a la mode, modernized.
Yeah, they're constructed and engineered.
Yeah, by bad architect. You saw that friggin' literally. The architects of reality have a job, and maybe that's me. I don't know, but I'm here for trying to friggin' save our asses if we are graced with that possibility.
Right.
I'm
But
not done yet.
the majority of people don't give a fuck about the rest.
Yeah, well, that is not going to end well for them, I don't think. I mean, what do they expect? I hope that they change it. If it's not too much trouble, I would try.
Well, set an example. Lead by example, at least.
Well, and I think that's how you do it, is like you don't have to have credit. You don't have to be right. You can plant seeds and hope if they grow in fertile soil, they will grow on their own. As long as you're not too attached to having the credit or clout or whatever, I think that maybe that's the easiest way to do it, like the slow, long game. But just a one little notch at a time. That's how they got us here, one notch at a time.
And then they inflicted us with mass media and called us into conformity and submission. Those that did, those that resist are definitely identifiable. But
Yeah, they're going to be stronger, and that's unintended consequences for the win.
right? Hopefully.
Yeah, well, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Obviously, that's the way it's always been. I mean, they say that survival of the fittest is not in effect. I think it is. It's just not on the same level.
Not no more. No, it's not about man against nature and trying to survive and persist against adversarial land war, or people that want your commodities, your land, or whatever. No, it's a whole different. Information is currency now.
Yeah, we're in the World War III already. I'm pretty convinced that it is the mind field that we're battling upon.
Psychological war, basically.
Yeah, and most people are not even aware. But that's the way we were designed, and we need some firmware updates on our brains.
Updates, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I did that. I gave my ego was like getting in my way, and I used to murder it because it kept it like complacent and to where it was not a problem. And then my friend Bella, at the tender age of 19, I told her I was on the path of unconditional love, and she was like, well, how does that work if you keep murdering your ego? Isn't that kind of mean and not very loving? And I was like, oh shit, she's right. So I was like, what are we gonna do? You know, how do you, stop when that was your modus of controlling yourself? How do you do it another way? And so I was like, well, what do I need to reinforce? Because ideally that thing is there to keep me alive, and I have to respect that.
It'll always be there till you die. It's like a blueprint.
Yeah, no matter how many times I killed it, it kept growing back. It kept growing back.
And the home base will always stay the home base, basically.
Yeah. And it's the foundation of our consciousness. So it's there to stay. There's no cutting the roots off.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no cutting the roots off and having the tree keep growing somehow. It doesn't work like that. And nature always builds upon what is already there. That's why we have wet eyes. We evolved eyes underwater, and now our eyes are wet, and they're not so efficient in a dry desert, but I can see, I guess, well enough.
That's a part of the evolutionary state of some humans. Some just are completely unable to adapt.
You know what I did though? I basically decided that I didn't like commercials, and I gave my ego a second job, not only just keeping me alive under emergency circumstances, which are few and far between, and I can understand why it was bored and got in the way, because it is hypervigilant. It is, always aware, and so I put it on the task of keeping me from being brainwashed. And I'm not susceptible to advertisings. And it just totally flourished in that role, and now it's busy. And I am so appreciative. So much easier. It wasn't even hard.
Well, I can appreciate that because I just regained my health, and I'm now starting to get around and move a little better, and just everything seems to be much more productive in my environment now.
Yeah, I
We can rejuvenate the body and the mind for sure.
Yes.
I just started by cursing at commercials whenever they came on habitually, and sometimes it's kind of awkward because I'll be yelling at the television set, like, "Oh, fuck you," until I can hit the skip button, and then eventually I could afford to pay to the commercials to go away, because where there's a will, there's a way. And
right.
Why not give them the $9.99 a month? YouTube, you could, sure, I'll pay for that. That's not that much, I guess. If they start raising it up, we're gonna have problems. I'll have to come up with somewhere else to go. But
I
they're not.
understand. Ladies, I'm going to have to get some sleep before I broadcast tonight, but I
Oh,
wanted
Nope,
to
you're
do
having
this
another
early broadcast.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I want to get a couple hours sleep so that I'm up whenever the rest of the night
Vampire.
prowlers are
You're
out.
not ending the
Yeah.
whole channel, right? You're still gonna be around, right, Access?
Oh, yes. Yes.
That's good.
Yes. I would not do that to you,
Don't let
Callie.
somebody
Yeah,
like
really.
Gage get to you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
We're not gonna feed them more energy with our attention, right?
yeah. Just keep doing what you're doing. So
Good job.
Well,
I'll see if I
you're
can.
my number one news, Callie. So
yeah, I'm
I like.
excited.
I'm glad that you escaped.
Could base the muse is based off of the escape from
Yeah, exactly. It's Calliope, right?
the TS machine.
Yes. What is it? The sanity machine? Oh yeah.
Sanity means sane, right? But insanity.
The insanity machine. He thinks he is insanity and he is.
So yeah, let's
yeah.
yeah.
Sour note to end on. How about we end on all love, peace, and may our endeavors be fruitful.
And I pray for the enlightenment of all of my enemies.
There you go. Callie, I hope to see you later on this evening.
Yeah,
And you're welcome back too, Cypher.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, have a good
Absolutely.
And I'll be
Thank
back.
you guys.
And good talking to you, Zephyr.
Yeah, I'll see you again. For
Yeah,
sure.
we'll talk again. Have a good day. Bye.
Excellent. Excellent. Love it. Turned into a good stream. Productive. What more can I say? You know, that is a proper and edified way to conduct yourself on a panel. So if anything, learn that by example. Axis out.